And welcome to One Stop Co-op Shop. This is Steve. I'm here with a special guest. We have Eike. So, hey, how's it going?
Hey, everything good here?
Good. So, you are the designer of this upcoming game, Midhalla. And so, yeah, we've been talking and thought it might be kind of fun to show you guys how this game works. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, this game is coming. When does the game come to Kickstarter?
It'll be in August this year, so 7th of August is the planned date for the Kickstarter launch.
Awesome. Yeah, so we'll be playing together on Tabletop Simulator here. I will be doing a later preview of this with a physical copy at some point, but I will show you this early. So, but I will let you go ahead and take the reins and explain what we're doing.
Yeah, exactly. We'll do. Your copy, I just got a message, is still with customs, but it should be on the way soon, hopefully.
Cool.
All right. Yeah, what are we doing here? We are currently in a scenario. We've decided to start with chapter number 2 because that gives you a bit more of the rules and everything. So a bit slightly further along the campaign. The first 2 chapters of the campaign are still tutorial chapters. So kind of leading you into the game, explaining some rules, introducing some new rules as we go along. Here we almost have all the rules in play, and we've kind of advanced the chapter to start out in the first combat, because the combat rules are kind of necessary to understand everything else that is also happening in the game. And yeah, we'll go along from there. Generally, just kind of how the game overall plays. We have this overview here in the game, where you can see the different phases. The game is played in 4 different phases. So first you explore the dungeon. That's something we've already done in this case. Then you, at some point during your exploration, you come across enemies. So during exploration, you don't fight yet. When you encounter enemies as part of exploration, it tells you to move to the next phase, which is the preparation phase, which we've done already, where we used our resources. So you can use resources in this game and collect them, which is silver and runestones and trap components. And you spend these to build traps, upgrade traps, buy items. You can fortify parts of the dungeon with magic energy. We've already done this. We'll explain in a bit more detail when we come to that phase again later. And once you're done with spending resources, you spawn enemies. We've already done this here as well. And then position your heroes. That's also done. So now we're starting in phase 3, which is the combat phase. And afterwards, once we've defeated all enemies in the combat phase, we will then move to the rewards phase, where we gain level ups and stuff. And after that, we will be going back to exploration. And this is kind of one run through all these 4 phases. It's called a cycle. And each chapter is played across 3 of these cycles. So we will be having 3. So we will be having one run through, and then again a run through, and then a third time, and then the chapter is finished.
So yeah, the premise of this is you're basically like a fantasy Vikings, and it's kind of a combination of like, I don't know, maybe like a dungeon crawlish type thing, but tower defense going on at the same time, building traps and stuff. Is that how you would describe this game?
Yeah, that's probably the best pitch of what you do here. Yeah, you've got dungeon crawl with a focus also on storyline, but then also like the tower defense aspect, which is the towers being the traps here, which help us defend against the enemies.
Yeah,
Exactly.
for sure.
Um,
And
yeah.
and the goal, the objective of each scenario is going to be scenario dependent, and then how do people lose?
Like there's one key thing that's common to everything, because in this world we are, as part of a scenario, we are always exploring a dungeon, and these dungeons are sealed with runic energy, which there's this runic seal here at the entrance of the dungeon, which is currently at 20 hit points. And this dungeon has been closed hundreds and hundreds of years ago. But now, as we're exploring it, there are demons popping up in this dungeon, and these demons want to escape the dungeon. And if the seal ever gets destroyed by the demons, then we lose the game. So we always want to defend this. Obviously, we also both want to also stay alive. So both of our characters have hit points. So you and I, we both have a hit point die here. And then there's overall, we try to win a scenario. Like one thing is we try to defeat the enemies, but also we have some objectives. For example, in this case, we need to explore this dungeon and find out what's happening here, but also we need to find a card. So we have been requested by Dara, who was a traveling merchant who came into our village called Midhalla, hence the name of the game, Midhalla. That's where the heroes come from, the village. And she asked us to help her find her card because she was attacked by demons, and so her card is somewhere in this dungeon, and we're trying to find it in here. And yeah, that's pretty much the goal. But right now, as we're in combat, our main goal is defeating the enemies and trying to survive and have them not escape the dungeon.
Awesome. Let's do it. Let's show them how combat works.
Yeah, exactly. So we can see that on the overview sheet as well for phase 3. Combat is has 3 different steps that we repeat after each other. So first we have the enemy turns, so all enemies will activate. Then we have the trap turns, so all traps will activate. And then it's the hero turns, so both of us will activate. And then we repeat the same cycle again and again. So until either we've won or we've lost. So if at the end of the hero turns turn we have lost, we have won, then we will have won the combat and move on to the next phase. And if at any time we lose, then we would need to restart the scenario. Okay, but let's get going. So enemy turns first. How do we do the enemy turns? So there's one mechanism in this game that I need to explain once, and because that's used in different parts of the game, also for the activation of the enemies, and that's called the tile activation order, or short TAO. The tile activation order just describes in which that you activate something map tile by map tile. And for that, you always start out with a gate map tile. That's this one. This is also essentially where this seal is that can be attacked by enemies. And so we activate all enemies on this map tile first with this tile activation order in this now. And then we always activate from the map tile we activated last, we activate the next adjacent one that is one step further from the gate. So from this one, we activate the closest one that's one step further away. Since we have 2 options right now, so there's a crossing here, where we need to take the one that's coming in clockwise order first. So if we go in clockwise order, the first one would be to the right. So we go down to the right path first. So we activate this map tile. And now, again, we follow this scenario of one step further away from the last activated map tile. So after this one, there's no enemy here. We go to this one. And then we activate this entire corridor, go down there step by step, and then we would go in the other direction. So jumping back to the last crossing, which would be here, and then we go down the other side of the dungeon. So that's the tile activation order. We will need it later on also for trap activations, and also if we spawn new enemies, which doesn't happen during combat, but which would happen before our next combat. So activating enemies, we activate the gate map tile, then activate this, and this is where we now have the Draugr Horde. So there's an enemy here, and we need to fight them, or we need to not fight them, we need to activate them right now. So activating an enemy, how does it work? To activate an enemy, you look at the card of this enemy, and you do a preferred target check. So you look at what is their target. This is kind of their preferred target that they want to attack. There's 3 unique target types. One is the gate, which means enemies will prioritize the gate. There's heroes, and there's traps. Currently we have, and then there's this type, which is the question mark. This just means they will go for any target type as long as they find one. So the Draugr Horde will try to attack pretty much anything on their map tile. But since there is no enemy on their map tile, they can't attack. So the preferred target check means they can't attack their preferred target, which would be anything. If an enemy can't attack their preferred target, he would also check for the gate. In this case, they've already done that because they just attack anything anyway. And then if they can't, they will move. So an enemy that doesn't have the specific keyword range, which this enemy doesn't, can't attack on adjacent map tiles, for example, or within a certain range. So they could only attack on their own map tile. They can't do that. And if an enemy can't attack, instead, they will then perform a move action. Move for enemies means they will always move towards the gate map tile. So they will not start chasing something throughout the dungeon, but they're actually moving towards this map tile in the middle. And ultimately, if an enemy ever ended up on this map tile, they would just start attacking the gate. But now they just move, and they move 1. So default movement of enemies is 1, so they move 1 towards the gate map tile. There are also enemies which have more movement, but that needs to be specifically on the card. There are also some other elements on here, like defensive traits and hit points. We will come to that once we start attacking enemies, so I'll skip that for now. So they have moved. I will move the card along, so it's a bit easier to see which enemy is where. And we go to the next enemy. So now we have the Cobalt Trapper here on this map tile. And the Cobalt Trapper actually has an enemy turn start ability, which means we need to trigger that before we do the target check. So he says enemy turn start. One hero anywhere on a map tile with a trap suffers attack 1. So a hero anywhere on a map tile with a trap. Both of our heroes are currently on this map tile where we have a trap as well. So this trap, he can actually use our traps against us. So this trap now suddenly starts attacking us with an attack 1. So we can now decide who of us takes this 1 damage, or this attack 1. And, well, we can take a look at the hit points. So I have 6 hit points. I'm playing as Harkin the Dranger. And Steve is playing as Eike the Herbalist.
Yeah,
so
healer.
You have 5 hit points. Yeah, healer class, and I'm more of a tank damage dealer class. This is also like the 2 main characters of the game, although we have like 4 in total, but these are kind of the 2 basic ones. So yeah, do you have any preference who takes the damage? Otherwise, I'm the tank, so I think I need to. Show that I'm the tank. I take some damage, maybe.
I don't think it matters who takes it because I can heal either of us pretty easily, I think. So. Yeah,
but I'm going to take it just so.
Okay.
So like the tank is taking some damage, I can say I've tanked actually something. So yeah. So he has used this trap against us, but he still does the rest of the activation. So we still do the preferred target check. Here you can see he has the symbol for traps. So his preferred target will be is traps. He can't attack a trap because he doesn't have range. And if he can't attack his preferred target, we then still again check for the gate. He can't attack the gate because the gate is not on his map tile as well. And if he can't attack either, he then moves as well. So he will move 1 towards the gate as well. All right, moving on to the K-form. K-form is pretty straightforward. He wants to attack the gate. Since the preferred target already is the gate check and the preferred target check are pretty much the same. He can't attack the gate, doesn't have range, so he will also just move 1 towards the gate. Yep. Enemies approaching towards us. Now we're done with this side of the dungeon. Again, according to tile activation order, we jump back to the last crossing or junction, which is up here, and then we start on this side of the dungeon. Activation is over here, and we activate the Cobalt Bomber. Nice. He is also heading towards the gate and tries to attack it with attack 1, but again, he can't attack anything here. The gate is not in this map tile, so he will move 1 space towards the gate. He also has an on-death ability, which is pretty fun, which we will look at later, because right now it's not good. But let's just say the fuse on his on the barrel at his back is not a good thing necessarily for us. Could also be used against enemies though, so we'll see that later. All right, the Cobalt Thief. Again, he has an enemy turn start ability. So if the thief is on the gate map tile at the beginning of his turn, we need to exhaust 1 item. We currently have 1 item here, which is the throwing axe, which is an NX possession, so she can start throwing axes around. But since he's not on the gate map tile yet, this ability doesn't trigger. It would only trigger if he starts his turn on this map tile. Okay, so movement, he will move, and we can see he has movement 3. So he actually will move 1, 2, 3. So he is pretty fast.
Super fast.
Running up here. Yep. All right, and the last enemy to activate here is the Rune Golem. The Rune Golem, we can take a look. He prefers to target traps. He tries to attack traps with the highest HP, but yeah, he doesn't have a trap in his map tile, so he will actually move again because there's no trap and no gate to attack. He will move 1. One thing to note with these, with this preferred target check and gate check, that like an enemy if an enemy doesn't target players or doesn't target traps as a target type, he will probably not attack it at all, because we only check, for example, here in this case, we only check for the trap, or we check for the gate. We don't check for players. So the Rune Golem will never attack players, or do we have actually an enemy who prefers players? No, we don't have one. So we will see that later.
Cool.
But enemies attacking players wouldn't attack traps, for example. All right. But that's it for the enemies. And now we move to the trap phase. So traps activate, and traps also activate in tile activation order, meaning we're starting here. Here is the first trap that we activate. And this, we can look up what the trap does up here. So each trap has a card up here. And this is a blade trap. It's currently on level 2, which you can see by this yellow token lying underneath it. This is one of these upgrade tokens that we've placed underneath it. So it's on level 2 right now. There's also level 3, which is on the other side of these tokens. But level 2 actually does, we can look up for what the ability for level 2 is, and level 2 does 3 times attack 1.
So that means attack 1 3 times, right?
Yeah, so that's attack 1, attack 1, attack 1. And we can pretty much decide against which target, but since the trap doesn't have any range, we are obviously going to focus on the Draugr Horde.
Right.
Now, when we attack an enemy, we need to look at the defensive traits, which are always beneath the name of the enemy. So this is Undead and Horde. So what do these two do? Horde means these are actually multiple enemies, and so each attack can only kind of defeat one of these, which means each attack is reduced to attack 1. So if we were doing an attack 4 against this enemy, it would be reduced to attack 1, just dealing 1 damage, which means it would only move
So
this token
basically,
by 1.
you have to attack it 8 times, right, to take it out.
Exactly. So it needs to pretty much suffer 8 attacks.
Yep.
And then there's the Undead trait, which isn't relevant right now, but it will become relevant in a second, because Undead means that this enemy can actually suffer damage when it gets healed. Or it suffers attacks, not damage, which means that if you perform a heal against it, you can use it as an attack instead. And you would also ignore armor, but this enemy doesn't have armor, so that doesn't matter in this case. But coming back to the trap did 3 times attack 1, and so it's pretty much perfect to work around the Horde trait, which means 1, 2, 3 separate attacks, killing 3 of the Draugrs. So there's only 5 left. So that was activating this trap. Moving to the other trap over here. We can take a look at what this one does. The spike trap, it's also level 2, which means this one, it has this yellow token underneath it. So looking at what it does pierce. Pierce means it would ignore enemies with a defensive trait armor. So it would ignore the armor, not the enemy, obviously. And it does an attack 2. However, if we look at our enemy that we have on this map tile, that's a Cobalt Thief. He also has a defensive trait, and that one is trap immune, which means he cannot be attacked by traps. He's too nimble and just evades them. So yeah, we just need to wait for another day or another enemy to use that trap. You can also see the die in these traps, and these are the hit points for the traps. So traps, as we said, can also be attacked, and like if these ever reach 0, the trap would be destroyed, which means we would remove the die from it and the trap wouldn't do anything anymore. All right, but that's that. If you ever see any die in this game, they're always only used for tracking. That's maybe also one thing to mention about this combat system. We have an entirely deterministic combat system, so there's no randomness in the combat itself. There are some random elements in the game, but during the combat phase itself, there's no randomness going on.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So it all comes down to good planning or bad planning if you want to lose.
What you're trying to say?
Yeah.
I'll be weak leaking this one, that's for sure.
Yeah. Okay. So we've activated all the traps. So third step in the combat phase is hero turns. And now let's take a look. What can we do? Let's see which enemy do. Or let's maybe start with you because we have the Draugrs there, and you're kind of maybe it's fun for you to use your ability. So what do we do with on a hero turn? We decide which heroes goes first. So we could say we start with Harkon or with Enik, but let's start with Enik for now. Usually we would discuss that as part of our strategy. So what do? We always do 2 things on our turn. The first thing we do is we activate our top row skill. For that we have tokens here. So we would activate a top row skill, which means we take our skill token in that row and move it to an empty space. And then we activate whatever we've moved it on. So if you wanted to, for example, advance, you could move it onto this one, and then you would perform the move 1. Move 1 means you can move up to 1 space away. Or move 2 means you can move up to 2 spaces away. You can always skip whatever is in there if you wanted to, but you still need to always move the token. The only things you can't skip are negative effects. So if there's a clearly negative effect, like you take damage or something, you would still need to take damage from a skill. Once you've done this and executed it on the board, then you do the same thing for the bottom row, also for your bottom row skill. Again, moving it to an empty space and activating it. And on your next turn, you would do exactly the same. The thing is that you always need to move it to an empty space, so you can't use the space where the token is currently on, which means you kind of need to think ahead because you can't use the same thing twice in a row. And if you wanted, for example, on your next turn to have the diversion with the slow here, for example, you couldn't be using it on the previous turn. So that happens every turn. There's other things that you can do on your turn as well, and that is, I'm putting these to the side because on your first turn you still have all options available. There's there are two other things that you can do on your turn. One thing is, so there's free actions available as well. Free actions meaning you can do that in addition to your skills. The first thing is you can use your ultimates. So you have two ultimate abilities on the top of your tableau. As I said, these are done in addition to what you're doing, either before, between, or after your skills. And for that, you just use one of the ultimate tokens up here. You place it on there, and you execute whatever's on there. But then this ultimate is gone for the entire combat. So you can only use it once in one combat round, and then it's gone. You could even use both of them in one turn. The thing is, once we've defeated all the enemies, you will only be getting one of these ultimates back. So you need to decide if you really need two, or if you just use one for the combat. So that's one of the things you can do, the ultimate abilities. And then the other thing is your item. So we currently only have one item in our party, and that's the throwing axe. That is with Eike at the moment. We can't hand that over right now. We would have needed to do that before the combat. So you can use that. You need to, if you use that, you use it as a free action as well. You just exhaust the item, meaning you turn it by 90 degrees, and then you execute whatever's on there. And then this one is used as well for the entire combat. After combat, you regain or you refresh all your items. So you would regain it as fully regain it. And then there are these tokens, which are the player turn markers. These ones are used after once you're done with your turn. You can flip it over just to mark that you're done with the turn. It's not that critical in in a two-player game, but for a 3 or 4 player game, that's definitely helpful to have those, so you know who has already taken their turn. And that's pretty much it. So I think from that perspective, you can pretty much go. Oh yeah, maybe we can just talk through one of the two other things. So you have heal on your tableau. Heal means essentially, you can heal our hit points. You cannot heal beyond our maximum hit points. So your maximum hit points here is 5 with Eike, and my maximum hit point is 6. You can see that on the rune below the die. So this is the maximum hit point that we have. You could also heal enemies. As I said, that's mostly only useful for if you want to heal the undead. And if you have like something written in small letters below something above, that means that it's related to the ability or the action or the thing that you triggered directly above it. So the range one only pertains to the heal one, not to the attack one in this case. So the throw flask, only the heal is ranged. Slow means the enemy will not, if you do that, the enemy will not move on its next turn. If you activated that. And then you have, again, in the bottom row, attacks and heals, pretty straightforward. And then as your ultimate, heal 4. Here you have Pierce. One thing regarding Pierce, you won't need it right now, but it will maybe become relevant later. If you activate Pierce, Pierce lasts until the end of your turn. So a turn is defined as a hero or an entity activates until a hero is done with everything. So if you activate this at the beginning of your turn, you could still use this as an attack skill which pierces and an engage skill which pierces as well. And only then would the pierce disappear. All right, now I've talked quite a bit about how this whole thing works, so let's kill some demons.
Yeah, real quick, what is... Oh yeah, you should slow down move, that's right. I feel like, because these guys in our spot are horde, so they will only take 1 damage no matter what I do. This this ability, Throw Flask, seems pretty good against them, because I can attack with a 1, and then the heal, because they're undead, will take another 1. Is that correct? Let's go and do that. Try to take them out.
Yeah. All right.
Hey, Mike. Nice to see you here. Yeah. And honestly, guys, I'm watching the chat. I see you two. Go Shoki. You guys have any questions while we're playing it? Let us know. We'll do our best to answer them. So.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So that's 2 damage. Moving down to 3. Actually, in this game, there's like the terms attack and damage are different. So attack turns into damage, but it may beforehand, it may kind of be changed and altered by certain traits of enemies. So Horde, for example, would change an attack, and only then would it become damage once it's been mitigated by Horde.
Gotcha.
But because it's 2 single ones, it doesn't really matter. It will become later on. Maybe this differentiation can become relevant later on with certain skills that we may acquire. Okay, but that's 2 attack 2, and that's 2 damage essentially. 2 times attack 1, so that's 2 damage. And yeah, what else do you have?
Well, let's see. I don't think it doesn't make a difference if I do the heal or the attack, because they're both are going to be effectively the same.
Yeah, they're both going to be reduced to 1 through the Horde trait.
So I think I'll just do the normal engage attack 2 against that Horde. And
all right.
take him down to 2. Maybe you can finish him off.
Mm-hmm.
So down to
Okay,
2.
down to 2. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm done, and then you're up.
Okay. So yeah, let's just finish them off, and then we can see. So I'm going to go for the block here, which gives me an armor 1. Armor 1 is actually quite nice because that means that I absorb or I reduce all attacks by 1 until the beginning of my next turn.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will use my cleave ability here, which is 2 times attack 1, which is nice against the horde because that should finish them. Yep. And that's quite cool. All right. And that's my turn, so I can't do anything else for now.
Pull this token off the board too, I'm guessing.
Yep, let's remove them from the board. And now it's enemy turns again. So let's see what we got. So again, following the tile activation order, we start here, moving over here. And the first enemy to activate is the Kobold Trapper. Again, on his turn, on the start of his turn, 1 hero anywhere on a map tile with a trap suffers attack 1. So we take another attack 1 because we are on a map tile with a trap.
Could your armor prevent that?
Yes, that's why I used my block ability, because now I can actually use my armor. And I don't need to use it, actually. It just stays here. Yep. But I will just take the hit. It gets reduced by 1 because it's an attack. It gets reduced by 1, so I just suffer an attack 0, which, yeah, I'll just shrug that one off and let's see. So, Kobold Trapper, he has done his enemy turn start ability. Now he does a preferred target check. He still can't attack anything. He also can't target the gate, so he is also moving towards... The hitboxes here are always a bit of a hassle. Let's move over here.
You slip and fall, we win.
Yeah. Okay, so there he is, the Kobold Trapper, on our map tile now. He can't attack because he has moved, because the target check is always happening before the movement. But next turn he would start attacking our trap here. And then we have the Cave Worm on the right side. He's just moving 1 step ahead because he has nothing in range to fight. And with that we move to the left side. And we have the Kobold Thief. The Kobold Thief will enemy turn start. He would try to exhaust one of our items, but he's not on the gate map tile yet. So that doesn't happen yet. And then he can't attack the gate yet, so he will also move in the direction of the gate, which is just next to where he's currently standing. So next turn, he will start attacking the gate, and he will also deactivate our throwing axe. Let's move over here. The Kobold Bomber, still no gate in sight, so he will also move towards the gate for now. Moving over here. And then we have the Rune Golem, which activates. The Rune Golem wants to target traps, or alternatively the gate if he can't target traps, but that's not possible, so he will also still just move 1 space ahead for now.
Would it make sense to pause real quick and talk about the health of these enemies and how to read that? Because I think that's... Because we've got symbols underneath here.
Yeah, that makes sense. So the health bar in itself, those are these bullets here. There are some numbers on here, like this with the small meeple sign there. That is actually the starting health of the enemies. So we're playing with 2 players currently, which means we've been using the one with the number 2 on it. So this is the one with 9 hit points. If we were playing with 3 players, you can see the icon is here. So the number 3 there, and then plus 10, which means the starting hit points for the Rune Golem would actually be 12 if we were playing with 3 players, or with 4 or 5 would be again more of that. Yep. So this is one of the main things how the difficulty scales with player number is through hit points on the enemy tableau. And then there's one other factor which I can explain later because that is relevant during build phase. Yeah, and then you can also see the defensive icons for the defensive traits in the hit point bars as well, alongside the defensive trait being on the top.
Yeah, assuming the icon, because it's next to those numbers, means armor apply. Could there be a character, for example, that would get to 4 without this armor symbol? Would mean the armor is no longer applied with that 4 less health, or?
probably not, because like if you would be having more than 10 hit points on the character, you would have a second one, and so it would be really probably confusing.
That's true.
To do that. So I may also, so there is this something like that exists on like certain bosses, but it doesn't. So that's a small spoiler here, but but yeah, like generally it's not on enemies, because otherwise it would get a bit confusing as to how these enemies work.
Makes sense. Okay, everything moved, and then we gotta do traps, right?
Yes, trap turns. So let's take a look at traps. Yeah, we have the blade trap again dealing 3 times attack 1 against the cobalt trapper, but as he's a trapper, he's obviously trap immune because he knows how to work around the traps, so the trap can't do anything against him. And then on the other side, we have our spike trap level 2, which does an attack 2, and it pierces. Pierce isn't relevant, but the attack 2 is relevant because he doesn't have a defensive ability. Well, he has one, which is an on-death effect. We can just have a brief look right now. The on-death effect means that once he dies, he does an attack 3 against everything on its map tile. Everything meaning literally everything, which means heroes, traps, the gate if he dies on the gate map tile, but also other enemies. So we will also perform an attack against other enemies when he dies. Yeah, but he's not dying from the attack of the trap yet, so it's just an attack 2, which means he just goes down to 3 hit points for now.
Cool.
All right. And that's that. Our turns again.
Yeah.
See what we want to do.
So this guy, let's talk about this guy real quick.
Yeah.
Because now that he's at the gate, he's going to exhaust an item, meaning this throwing axe is going to get spent without us using it. Yeah. So it sounds like we should probably find a way to use this during this turn.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. Yeah, now we have like, we're having more of a problem because right now we have the Cobalt Trapper here who will start attacking our trap. Right. We have the Cobalt Thief who will exhaust your item, but also he will start attacking the gate. I mean, it's only for 1, but he will start attacking next turn. Yeah, and this guy here, I mean, we can kill him in this map tile, but then he will explode and kill our trap. Or we can wait until he reaches the gate, which means he will not kill our trap, but he will then attack the gate for 3 if he dies there. So, I
kind of
different options.
I don't know if it's a good idea, but I kind of feel like having him move to the middle and maybe have him explode and take out the thief while he's there may be worth it. I don't know.
Yeah, I like it. That sounds like a fun idea.
Because I don't like blowing up the trap right now because we got this golem coming up to us, and that trap has pierce, so that's gonna be kind of nice against the golem.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So with that said, what makes sense here? He's got 1, 2, 3, 5. So if do I go first?
We can decide who goes first. So you can go first, or I can go first.
Okay. Slow stops something from moving.
Yeah.
But it will still attack, I'm assuming. Correct?
Yeah, exactly. So if you use the slow against the trapper, it's not really going to do anything against that one because he's going to stay on the same map tile anyway.
Right.
He's not gonna move away.
I'm wondering about this cave worm potentially. Do you slow him
down?
down?
For that one it would be pretty nice because then because he's just gonna be moving straight towards the gate, ignoring everyone. And because he's not gonna be attacked by traps, we just actually need to deal quite a bit of damage because he has 9 hit points. So slowing him would be nice. But then you couldn't attack on this turn. Well, the slow doesn't have range, so you can't slow him this turn.
I can't slow him this turn anyway, you're right.
Yeah.
So I can't, maybe just have to wait until he gets into the spot, and then start slowing him. So this is the cool part about the game, I think, because there's a lot of planning involved. It's all deterministic, so you can really figure out what's the best approach.
Yeah, and you could kind of already see there were ups and downs towards using the throw flask last turn.
Yes.
Because the throw flask it was nice because we were able to easily kill the Draugr Horde. But on the other hand side, we are now losing this attack one, which you could have used this on the first turn. Then you could have used this one this turn and then gone back to the diversion for the cave worm next turn.
True.
So that's part of the whole planning through the system that you always need to think through. And I didn't see it as well, like even though I played the game a lot of times. So you still miss stuff even if you've played it many times.
For sure, for sure. Rats. I wish I could do something a little bit different. Okay, maybe I'll just do an advance, do move 1. Actually, maybe I'm not even going to move.
Yeah, you can still stay on the same map tile, but you still need to move your token, so that would be
Right.
an option to move the token. And
Right. Yeah, I think I'll do that. I think I'll move 1, but I don't think I think I'm gonna stay there because I think I want to be there to slow down that cave worm. And then we do have a guy in our space, so I think I'll do the engage 2 on him. Oops, wrong one.
Yeah.
So where is he? He is the trapper. So he'll just take 2
Exactly.
damage.
Exactly.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's go ahead and exhaust this while we still can to throw it. Now this is range 2, attack 3.
Mm-hmm.
So we can attack anybody except for this guy because he's too far away. And talk about on a sight, right? If it's, let's say for example, I had 1, 2, 3. Let's say I had range 4. Would we be able to attack the rune golem around the corner?
Yes. So like, there's no line of sight in this game, so it's really just the range that you need to take care of.
Perfect. So with F3.
Yeah, you don't want to destroy this trap by exploding the bomber.
Right.
Or at least that sounded like we want to explode him more on the gate map tile. So probably he is.
Are you gonna be able to take out the trapper on your turn?
Depends a little bit on what I do on my turn right now, but yeah, like if I stay on this map tile, I can easily take him out. If I move, then obviously I wouldn't. Then I would be moving to. I mean, I could also move and start attacking the cave worm, or I could move in to take down the kobold thief. Yeah.
Because I'm thinking about hitting the.
I can take down the trapper easily.
Okay, I think we'll take the thief. Hit him for 3. 1, 2, 3. So then he's prime exploding fodder. So.
Oh yeah, nice.
All right, that's all I get. All I got. I'm gonna save my special for later.
Okay, cool. Yeah, then I only need to deal like an attack 3 against the trapper, and then we're good. So that's relatively safe. So I lose the armor at the beginning of my turn. I have an attack 3 down the bottom row, so I'm actually just going to move my top to the advanced here because I'm not going to need that for now. And I just do the attack 3 against the trapper, and that's it. The trapper's gone.
Nice.
All right. And with that being said, we are done with our turn. So enemy turns. Kobold Thief first. He has made his way to the gate map tile. He tries to exhaust your item, but you already used that, so joke's on him. But he still does his attack 1 against the gate, so we lose 1 hit point from the gate, so we're down to 19. And then moving on, no one here. Cave Worm. Cave Worm still doesn't have a target, but will move by 1. So he will join us over here. This, all right. And that's that for the east wing. And now moving to the west wing, we have the covert bomber moving to the gate map tile. And the rune golem, who will move 1 space up here. All right. Trap time again. And yeah, that's not going to be too much fun this turn because this guy, the cave worm, is burrowing through the ground, making him trap immune. And on the other side, the rune golem isn't there yet, so nothing happening there as well.
Yep.
So it's our turns again.
Okay.
Okay. We have like a lot of potential. Yeah, we have some enemies over here.
We have to do 3 to that bomber.
Yeah, I mean, if he takes 3, then he will explode for 3. So if we attack 3, which means the Kobold Thief will be gone as well.
And I assume we do 3 to the gate too, unfortunately, but it's got a lot of health. That's probably okay.
Yeah, we can't prevent that now anyway. So
that's true.
Attack 3 against the gate is now definitely going to happen because he's never going to move out of that space.
Let's see. I think how we can do. Oh, I do have this, but this is a pierce. That's kind of nice to use later, but I can use that special.
Yeah, it has range anywhere, so you can use it anywhere on the entire map, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's Firndal's roots. So Firndal is the world tree, so there are roots buried from the world tree buried everywhere, and he's just kind of hitting the enemies with it then.
Cool.
So, yeah. The other option would be that one of us, could be me or you, moves in and kills the bomber, but probably doesn't work, because if I try to attack the bomber, I've just used my attack 3, so I can't attack him for 3.
Oh yeah, we didn't plan
Like
that
if we
out.
want to take him down this turn, we either both of us move in there, which means we would both suffer the attack 3, or you would need to use your good relationship with the world tree to convince him to take him out.
I think it's world tree time. Let's do it. Let's do.
All right.
I was gonna save it, but I think I don't like the idea of waiting too much for that one. So let's do the Findarl's roots.
Yeah.
Attack 3 anywhere.
Exactly. All right.
Let's
Attack
attack
3.
Right here at Mr. Oh no, the bomber. Mr. Bomber.
Yeah. Taking out the bomber with attack 3. 1, 2, 3, and that means boom time.
Wait. I got something for this.
Yeah.
Ready?
Huh?
And there we go.
All right. So, big explosion, taking out the Cobalt Thief with an attack 3, so he's gone as well. And another attack 3 against the gate, which brings it down to 16.
Yep.
But yeah, nice. There's some more space now.
Few less things to worry about.
Yep. Nice.
Okay.
And you can still do your entire turn. So
yeah, so let's go ahead and do diversions. Let's do a slow and attack 1. And I'll follow it up with, do you need health? You're doing okay.
There's your slow marker that you can put on the enemy that you've slowed.
Ooh, nice. Let's do that. Let's put it on the cave worm, of course. And it's going to be attack 1. So 1 damage to the cave worm. Doesn't have any armor. So.
Yep.
And then it's followed up with a enrage 2 attack. The 2 more damage. Okay.
Excellent. And let's see. I think I'm actually going to leave you alone with this one for now, because I'm going to position myself, because I also have we have one enemy with armor left, which is the Rune Golem. And next turn he's going to be appearing on this map tile. And I want to take him out pretty soon so he doesn't destroy our trap, because he would deal attack 2 against this trap, which means after 2 turns the trap would be destroyed once he starts attacking it. So I want to take it out on the turn that it arrives there. So I'm going to use the Exhausting March, which is a move 3. I take 1 damage, but that brings me down to 4, but I move 3, which brings me 1, 2. I'm going to stop here on this map tile where the spike trap is. And then for the bottom row, I'm just going to go with engage and practice my engage move and start hacking the air in front of me, so I know how to hit him next time.
Attack the darkness.
Collecting some extra XP on my map tile. And yeah, that's pretty much it for now, because that allows me on my next turn to actually use my top row action for an attack as well. So I want to have that already in 1 turn. And that's it. So enemy turns. We start again here, moving to the cave worm. The cave worm tries to move, can't. So we flip over the slow marker, which means the next time for the next turn it's slow immune. So we can only slow it every other turn. But it doesn't move. And going to
funny comment. Gotochi says, "Me fighting everyone I've been in a relationship with." So fighting darkness, practice wing, right? So okay.
Yeah, and then we have the Rune Golem. The Rune Golem is moving again, coming over here to the trap. And that's it. Trap turns. Again, this trap can't do anything. Cave worm is still burrowed. But on this side, we have the Rune Golem, and he gets attacked by the spike trap. And the spike trap level 2 actually has pierce, which is awesome right now, because the Golem has armor, so we can ignore the armor for this attack.
Sweet.
So that means 1, 2 damage, actually.
Now, I assume pierce only counts for the trap's turn per se, not do all the hero turns afterwards.
Exactly, only for the turn of the unit that is using the pierce. So this one trap gets pierce, no other trap, and I also don't get pierce through it, sadly.
Yep.
So I need my own pierce to ignore the armor.
Cool.
All right, our turns.
I don't think it makes any difference what order we do.
No, not really. So, do you want to go first? Shall I? I don't mind.
Maybe if you go first, are you gonna move here potentially?
No, no, no. I'm going to take care of this one. As I said, I don't want to have the rune golem on his next turn would just start attacking the trap,
Okay.
which I definitely don't want. So what I'm going to do is I will now use my ultimate, which is spot weakness, which gives me pierce
Attack 3.
and an attack 3. So attack 3 means he goes from 7 down to 4 hit points.
Nice.
And now I still have pierce until the end of my turn, right? So
Yep.
quick slash is an attack 2, which doesn't get changed by armor because I still have pierce, and the cleave also ignores armor. So that's another attack 2, and then 2 times attack 1 means a total of 4 damage to the rune golem, which is enough to take it out.
Well done.
So we can actually remove it from the board. And yeah, that saves us some damage on the trap potentially.
How did I follow up with that? Just take out this golem by myself. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I could have just moved on space and just started hacking away all the time, but like this way, it's faster than doing a single move. So
For sure.
yeah, but you can go for the worm that's on your map tile, and we'll meet in the middle once it's there, probably, unless you take it out in this turn. But that might be tricky.
There's no way. So I guess I'll throw the flask. It's not great because that's what I was asking if you move, so I can heal you one. But
Oh yeah,
it's fine. It's not a big deal. I mean, I've got this ready down here, and you're not really hurting that bad, so I'm not too worried. So let me do attack 1, and then because I have these movements for next turn, I can follow the worm next turn to its new spot. But I'll do attack 1, and they'll do engaged with attack 2. So a total of 3 attack on the worm.
Nice.
So
So it's down to 3 hit points.
6 to 3. Yep.
All right, excellent. Yeah, so that's our turns. Enemy turns. He loses the slow immune and moves 1 space. So he's on the gate map tile now.
Yeah, I'm just going to clarify. He moves 1 space because his target is always the gate, so he doesn't care about anything else in the space, right?
Yeah, like I said, yeah, exactly. You do the preferred target check. So preferred target is the gate.
Yep.
And then for an enemy, you do the gate check. So he will try to attack the gate instead of his preferred target. But with enemies who have the preferred target as a gate as a preferred target, they only ever attack the gate, nothing else.
Yep.
So he will ignore traps, he will ignore players, he will just move there. And once he's at the gate, he will start hacking away at the gate. Okay. But I doubt he will get to that because now it's our turn. And the combat ends once all heroes have taken their turn, and if at that point in time there is no enemy on the board. So both of us will definitely get to activate, even if we finish him off on our turn.
I think it makes sense for you to go because maybe the last action you can do is heal you.
Yeah, that makes sense because you don't auto heal at the end of combat, so makes sense if you can heal me back up. So I do move 1, and then attack 3.
Boom.
Which means I move to a space and then just attack 3, which is enough to finish him.
Yes.
So you have your entire turn for whatever you want to do.
Okay. Don't bother moving. I'm good to where I'm at. And I'll heal 2 at range 2. So there you go. 2 health for you.
Oh, nice. Back up to 6 hit points. Wow. Never been better. All right. So we've defeated all the enemies, which means we're now moving from the combat phase to the rewards phase. We are still in the tutorial scenario, so there's 1 step in this that we are skipping. We could, if we were following we could also read all that in the tutorial book here and follow all the explanations there, but since I know what we do, we can just go through this and just skip this 1 step that we're not doing as part of this right now. So first thing is to check the quest board. Checking the quest board is here, which is this is the quest board, the one with the exclamation mark to the left. The area to the left is the quest board, and this here is a story marker, which tells us to read the story section number 1 for this chapter. So for that, story token number 1 is the read verse 109, which means we go here to the verses section. So there's different sections here. There's one for story tokens, one for the paths when we do explorations, and we go to the verses one where we go to 109 now. And 109, where is it? Here. This is exactly here. Here it tells us now what we do as part of the phase 4.
Sorry. There we go.
Yeah. For the phase 4 rewards part. We can also pretty much follow this. So reset skills and items is one thing that we do, and remove status tokens. So resetting skills means you remove your skill tokens, which are these two.
Mm-hmm.
So the next time we go into combat, we can start fresh.
Mm-hmm.
And you also refresh your item, which is here, or reset your item. What else do? We reset one ultimate, so we gain our ultimate back. Since we haven't used 2, that's good. And now we level up, so we gain level 2 skills. We have our level 2 skill slots on our boards here, which are still empty. We have already leveled at the beginning of the scenario a level 1 skill, which you can see here. This is the level 1 skill slot. This one's leveled up already. So it's not by default this skill. It could also be a different skill.
Right.
And now we're leveling level 2 skills. So let's take the level 2 skills, shuffle them, and we draw 2 skills plus 1 per player. So since we are 2 players, we draw 4 skills. And this is now our pool, and each of us can select 1 skill from this pool. So,
it's probably worth mentioning too that in each play of the game, you start from ground 0 and you level up each time, right? It's not like you keep your levels between campaigns, right, or scenarios.
Yes, there are things that you keep between scenarios and that you unlock as part of the campaign. So there's a campaign progression sheet where you unlock certain things for your party, but you level up your character in each scenario. So you can always play a different build, or you may even want to choose another or one of the other characters and play that one. So that's always possible. Yeah. So we can now choose a level 2 skill. So there's block up here, which is an attack 1, armor 1, retaliate 2. Armor, just one comment regarding armor. Armor doesn't stack. So if I would use this, or would choose this one, and I would use this armor 1 and the other armor 1, I would just still have armor 1. Retaliate means that you can attack when an enemy on your map tile attacks, or after an enemy on your map tile has attacked. The interesting thing is that you can use the retaliate against any enemy that has attacked, not just an enemy that has attacked you.
Ooh.
The only condition is that the enemy must be on your own map tile. So if an enemy on your map tile would be attacking the gate or me or the trap, and you had the retaliate, you could still apply the retaliate. Retaliate means once you use that skill, you would be getting one retaliate token like this. And when you apply this, so when you want to deal this extra damage to that enemy, you remove the token.
Gotcha.
So you can't retaliate. The retaliate 2 kind of gets spent, or you lose it at the beginning of your next turn anyway if you don't use it. So the other thing to note is that retaliate isn't an attack, it's damage, which means it also ignores any defensive traits like armor or horde or whatever, which is pretty cool.
We have one down here called reinforced with the repair ability. What is that for?
Yeah, repair. Repair is pretty much heal, but for traps. So you can heal players and you can repair traps. So if you have a trap that has taken damage, you can repair it with that. We have the multi-hit, which is 3 times attack 1, which is quite nice. And the bull rush. The bull rush is quite special because it does an attack 2 plus X. And X is your move value this turn, not the distance moved. So the total move value you had this turn. So 2 plus X, because I have taken the exhausting march, that's pretty nice because that could go up to an attack 5, which is like extremely strong. You rarely get this combination, but getting this would be a really powerful combination with the bull rush.
Yeah. Not to mention because you get to move 3. It's not like you still move 3 and you still get the attack, right? It's not like you. What am I trying to say? Every move you don't take, you get attack, right? You still get to do both.
Yeah, no, you can still move with it.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't need to do the move 3 to get the 3 added damage or 3 added attack towards the attack, but you could even move 3 spaces. Yeah. It doesn't get spent for it, so that's pretty powerful.
That seems pretty awesome for you.
Yeah, so I'm probably gonna go with this because that's extremely strong.
Maybe let's see. I got 2 attacks down already. Maybe we should get some armor so I have some options.
Yeah, I mean, armor would definitely make you more tanky. I mean, you can already heal back up, which makes you quite tough. But if you have armor, you will be pretty strong against anything that will ever attack you.
Can the health of these traps go? They can't go above their starting health, right?
Yeah, no. Heal or repair can never bring anything above maximum hit points. I mean, you could also go with a multi-hit, which would give you more damage because you only have attack 2. So that's also one of the weaknesses of the herbalist because she's not that strong.
Right.
So that's like all of these can be pretty cool, depending on how you want to build your character. If you want to be like more like pure or go into general offense, or just want to go for like offense in combination with defense, or just kind of more supportive with the repair option.
Let's go repair. I like
All right.
healing. I'll be the ultimate healer. I'll heal traps too.
Okay, excellent. Sounds good. So we're putting the rest of the skills get put back. And let's see what happens next. We have gained that. We gained 3 trap components. Trap components are up here. We draw from the trap components pile, and trap components are needed to upgrade traps, basically. So we draw 3. So that's 1 gear, 1 crystal, and another gear. What else do we have? We have
6 silver.
6 silver and 2 runestones, right? So here's the resource tracker, the resource board. So 6 silver, which means we go to 6, and 2 runestones, which means we go there. Okay, and that's our what is it called? Our rewards phase. So with that being said, we also need to place story token number 2 in the quest board. So story marker 1 gets removed, story marker 2 gets placed there. Done. And with that, we can now move to the next phase, which is exploration. So how does exploration work? For exploration, we need to look at the paths that we have that are not yet explored. Paths are the connections between map tiles where we have a letter. So all this, and this. And the unexplored paths are the ones that are open-ended. So currently we only have path number C over here, or the path with the letter C, because all other map tiles don't have any paths that are unexplored. So right now we can choose an unexplored path, which now has to be C because it's the only one available right now. And then once we've chosen that, then we read the according section in the campaign book, which means going to the campaign book for path number C, which is here. Place map tile 16A. So we have currently placed all our not used map tiles up here. So we use map tile 16A, which is this one. Whenever we place a map tile, we place the number of the map tile that we are taking next to the path or adjacent to the path that we've just explored. So the 16 needs to go next to the C, like this. So this one looks like a dead end. Let's see what else happens. So we explored C. We also read verse 102. So we go to the verse section for the current chapter and go to 102 and see what happens. All right. Tora wipes the cobalt blood off her blade and then strolls over to you. By the way, Tora is a character that we are currently not playing. It's this one, but who is also joining us on this adventure. Strolls over to you. The path ahead is a dead end. It seems you are out of options, but as you give the cave around you one last glance, you see an oddly shaped stone protruding from the wall. You walk over, and as you place your hand on it, it starts to move, and you hear a loud noise in the distance. Replace map tile 15 with map tile 4. So map tile 15 is the dead end over here. So that one gets moved, and we place map tile 4 in that section. So there it is. Moving it over here.
Now again.
And so dungeon has changed a little bit, and we need to see what we do. Okay. That's that. And now we continue exploring. As I said, we continue the exploration phase until something in the storybook triggers and tells us about like some enemies approaching or something. And it will explicitly tell us to move to the next phase. Only then do we move to the next phase. So continue exploration. And
it's probably worth noting too that you don't actually physically move your piece to that spot. You just say you're exploring the map. You just reveal stuff, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because we could move them there for flavor, but the miniatures or our position is only relevant in combat.
Right.
And just before combat starts, we will even be able to reposition our heroes. So we could move them right now for fun, but it's not really essential to do that.
Okay, let's go to D then.
Yeah. We place map tile 9A. and then
This one?
we read verse 106. Oh yeah, nice. Verse 106. There we are.
Jan says he likes the idea of moving the menu for fun. So
Yeah, we can do that. Go there. Just we know for where we are.
All right.
Okay. The mechanism has moved a seemingly solid wall. In front of you, there is a storage room, and among other items of varying quality, you can see Dara's card. Yes, she shouts, throwing caution to the wind, then turning towards you and pulling you in for a hug. Slightly embarrassed by this un-Viking-like show of affection, you quickly focus on searching the room for valuables. Take out the party sheet and unlock common items 1 to 4. The party sheet is actually, currently have that at the back of the rulebook here. That's something where you would unlock things. Obviously, we currently don't have any, we haven't used it for this campaign, so to speak, because we're only playing the current chapter. And I can just quickly show it. There it is. So this is the party sheet that you have, and there you can see there are different things to unlock as part of the campaign.
Catching up here. Hold on a second.
Yeah.
I think I'm loading
all yeah, it's loading the pages.
All right, now we see it. Now we see it. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, you can. There you can see it, and so normally we would already have marked some unlocks here from chapter 1. And right now we would be unlocking the common items here, and then some other things. So as part of the game, you will be unlocking things like new classes, new traps, trap components, common items, chapters, lore. I can talk about a little bit more about that at the end of the game, but essentially we will be keeping some. These are the persistent unlocks that carry on through different chapters and across the campaign. So unlock items 1 to 4. Unlocking items means in this case, we will actually gain them, or we will not gain them for us, but they will now be available. And we unlock the rare items 1 to 20. So we would place a marker here as well. And now we set up Dara's card. As I said, Dara is the merchant, and her card is the area on the right of the dungeon board. And setting that up means we now gain all the common items here. I mentioned commons item 1 to 4. Actually, they have been slightly altered in a later version of the game, so this is a little bit newer than the campaign book is right now, which means we only have 3 of these, but now they have double use or different uses on the items. And then we gain 2 additional rare items. The rare items are in the stack, and we draw 2 from these and add them to the card as well. So we gain the hunter's bow, and we get the barrel of meat. Well, that's excellent. You can never have enough meat as a Viking.
Ooh, gate. Interesting.
Yep, that's like one of the very few things that can actually heal the gate. We don't own these yet, so they are just available for purchase in Dara's card. We would still need to buy them at a later point in time when we spend our resources. But during exploration, we don't yet spend the resources. So we just set it up for now. So that's that. We've set up the card. Is there anything else we need to do? No, that's it. Okay.
It doesn't say to do anything else, so we can just keep exploring. So
yeah, so now we can continue exploration. Now we have 2 options. We can go K or M.
let's do M, I guess. See what happens there.
Okay, M. Place map tile 5A. Where is it? There. A and exploit K. We haven't explored K yet, so we need to read verse 105. In the room beyond, you see a familiar portal shimmering in midair, and as you watch, more enemies emerge from it. Gain 1 runestone.
Ooh.
So gain another runestone, bringing us to 3. Up at the resource tracker, and then something happens. Which is it? As you head into the preparation phase, you can now also perform new actions. Okay, I will explain what we can do anyway in the preparation phase because we haven't played that yet here. Have access to all resources, start preparation phase. So we start the preparation phase, and this is just kind of tutorial stuff. I will just explain it as we do use it right now.
And so now that we've hit this check that says preparation phase, now we officially end exploration. We can actually continue on with the dungeon, right?
Exactly. Now we need to really we must go into the next one. So now it's preparation phase, and the preparation phase consists of 3 steps. First, we spend our resources, and we can also exchange items between players. And we do that until we say we don't want to spend resources anymore or exchange any items. So we can decide when we stop that phase. Then we would reshuffle the enemy deck. So all the enemies that we've killed and also the ones that we haven't used yet, they would be shuffled again. And then we spawn them on unfortified map tiles. Unfortified meaning all map tiles that don't have one of these fortification tokens on them. That's important because we can actually fortify map tiles ourselves with resources, which I'll explain in a second. And then once we've spawned the enemies, then we will come to then we will position our heroes in the fortified area, so where these tokens are. So for now, let's spend resources, which is the first step. We have 6 silver available and we have 3 runestones available. We also have some trap components here that we can spend. And how can we spend them? The first thing that we can do, obviously, is build traps. So if we want to build a trap, we can look at the trap cards. They have different costs. So we have a blade trap, which costs 4 silver. We have the spike trap that we already seen, which costs 2 silver. And we have the rune trap, which is new, which we haven't built yet, which is 6 silver. We can always see what each trap does down here for the level 1. And we also see the hit points on the top right. Each trap also has a limited stock, so we can see these 2 have stock 2, and this one is stock 3. So you can never build more than 2 blade traps or 2 rune traps or 3 spike traps overall. And then we could also upgrade them. For that, we would need rune stones. We can also spend silver for items. So building traps is one way to spend silver. Buying items is another one. So we have the common items down here, which all are worth 1 silver. Or we have the rare items here, which are worth different amounts of silver. On the bottom right, you can see how much. Like this one is 2 and this one is 3. And then there's the other options to spend silver is to heal heroes, which we currently don't need to do because we are both at full hit points. And you could even restore a trap that was destroyed. So if any of our traps were destroyed, we would only have removed the die from it, and we could restore it for 3 silver, which is expensive, but it's still cheaper usually than rebuilding an entire trap. So can be worth it.
Jan has a question now. He says,
yeah.
Do you guys have 6 silver right now? And I believe we do, because that's what this marker is on this track.
Exactly. Currently we have 6 silver right now and 3 runestones.
I was looking at this energy potion, which is interesting, because it says, or a single move action gets +1 this turn. I'm assuming that can boost your bowl attack, right? Bull rush?
Yes. yeah. It can be used to actually, because it increases my move value, which in turn increases my bull rush. Yeah, exactly.
That's interesting. That's real interesting. Yeah, Jan, if you have a suggestion with that 6 silver, let us know. Because we have some options. We could build any of these traps.
Yeah, and before we build any of the traps, let me just explain what we can do with runestones, because that may play into how we want to spend our silver as well. Because what can we do with runestones? With runestones, we can upgrade traps, which you can see here. So each level of upgrade costs us 1 runestone and a certain type or amount of trap components as well. So for the blade trap, for example, to get it to level 2, for a blade trap, we would spend 1 runestone and 1 gear. Gears are the orange ones. They're actually marked in the same color, so it's pretty easy to recognize which components you need. But if we wanted to bring it, because we already have one blade trap on level 2, if we wanted to bring that one to level 3, it would cost us 1 runestone and 2 gears. The thing is, if you level up traps, you always need to do that consecutively. So you can't go from level 1 straight to level 3. You would first need to pay for level 2 and then need to pay for level 3.
Cool.
So you always need to go step by step. Again, blade trap needs the gears. Runic trap for the level 1, we would need a crystal. For level 2, we would need a crystal and a rope. We currently don't have a rope, so we couldn't bring a rune trap to level 3 at the moment. The spike trap needs 2 components of any kind. So we could just use any component, but we would need 2 to bring a spike trap to level 2. Spike traps can never be upgraded to level 3 though, so but they're relatively cheap with 2 silver. And then there's one more thing, what we can do with runestones. We can actually use the runic energy to fortify our dungeon and ward it against the demons, which means we would be placing one of these fortification tokens on an unfortified map tile. So unfortified meaning one map tile that doesn't have it yet. And we would be placing it on here, for example. This would have multiple effects. The one thing is you can only build traps on fortified map tiles, so we could now start building traps there as well. We would not spawn an enemy there, so when enemies spawn, we spawn 1 enemy per map tile that is not fortified, but if we fortify one, that's one enemy less that we get. And also we can start there when we position our heroes before combat. However, fortifying things is pretty expensive because it costs player number plus 1 as cost. So because we're playing with 2 players, fortifying costs us 3 runestones. So if we were to fortify right now, we would spend all of our runestones on fortifying a map tile, which we could do, but then we couldn't upgrade.
I'm leaning towards doing that. Jan has a question. Does it mean right now you would spawn around 8 enemies? Let's see, how many enemies we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Currently 9, yes. If we fortify, then it would be 8.
Yeah. Yeah, so basically you're correct, Jan, in that every spot that doesn't have a fortification will get one of these random enemy cards, and then we'll have to deal with it. So I personally think fortifying sounds really nice. So
yeah, I'm up for both. So if we want to, let's fortify. If you want to fortify, then let's go for that. So that's 3 runestones. And here's your token. I would say it's your choice. You decide where we want to fortify.
Let's put it over here because this is a lot more stuff over in this area.
Yeah. Yeah, you can only fortify adjacent to an already fortified map tile. So we couldn't be placing that anywhere randomly somewhere in the bottom of the dungeon. Okay, so that's fortification. Now we only have 6 silver left, so we can't upgrade traps. But we could buy traps, or we could buy, or we could buy items. One thing I forgot to mention when we build traps, we can only build them on fortified map tiles, but we can also only build a maximum of 2 per map tile, and we can never build a trap on the gate map tile. So this one in the center we will never be having traps on that one.
I like getting us a weapon, maybe, I'm thinking, and then maybe build a trap. Let's see. See, this costs 4 to make. We have 2 left over. How do you feel about the energy potion? You want to go crazy with that?
I mean, it's nice, but I would probably only be using it for the additional attack. I think because heal. I don't know. I feel like you're a pretty strong healer. I don't know if I need the extra heal right now.
I don't need heal.
So like for me, I feel like the hammer is even better because it has the attack one as well, but it also has the option to repair something, or even the pierce one, which gives the pierce or the option to add +1 to a single attack. So the energy potion is fun, but I feel like you're with your healing powers, I'm not sure if I need it at the moment.
Okay.
Maybe that changes during this turn, and I get like a lot of enemies attacking me, but so far I feel pretty safe in your hands.
Okay. I don't think everyone's ever said that before. Normally I'm the one bogging everything down. So, what if we would build another blade trap, and then maybe get the hunter's bow for you?
Yeah, that sounds nice. Yeah, the bow is definitely a fun idea. All right, let's do that. Blade trap and the hunter's bow. Or we place 2 spike traps, so we have more traps.
Oh, we can do that too. Sure.
Depending on how you want the map to look.
I'll leave it to you. Let's do the hunter's bow, and I'll let you pick if it's 1 or 2 traps. Okay with either.
Yeah, okay. Then we go with the blade trap because I'm a fan of the blade trap. I just like the model very much. The blade.
And are these going to be miniatures? Intended to be miniatures for the Kickstarter and everything?
Yeah. So we will have the blade. The traps will be miniatures, and then you can also place the die in them like it is. Exactly like it's on here, pretty much. Okay, so I buy the blade trap, but you can decide where to put it.
Let's put it over here for now. Because maybe we can spend most of our time. They're both pretty long. Let's put it over there. Let's see what happens.
Okay. And then we have 2 silver left, which we pay for the hunter's bow, right?
Yep.
So, yeah, like we've spent all our resources now. That's usually what you want to do because there's not really that much of a benefit to keep it.
Can you keep your resources between rounds if you really wanted to?
You can keep resources between rounds. You can't keep them across chapters, but within the chapter you can keep it between rounds. There is also something to do with resources that you don't spend. Like there will be something in the campaign that you unlock at some part, but that's like a minor spoiler. Not be telling about what exactly that is, but so there will be other options to do some things with resources as well as you progress through the campaign.
How about you take the hunter's bow? Because You were having trouble moving at one point. Though you have a lot of movement now. Never mind.
Yeah, the thing is, like, if I have the hunter's bow, I can't use it on the same turn where I want to do the exhaust. Well, I could,
that's
because
true.
I wouldn't need to move with it, right? So I just can't move. So I could still use it, but only on my own map tile then. So I'm not sure if I could take it, but I feel like could also be cool with you with the range attack and everything, because.
How about you take the throwing axe then, so you got another option? Because that way you can actually move with it. So.
All right. Yeah.
Let's try that.
Let's do that. Okay. Also, I already have one X, so can't hurt to have more X's.
Thematic.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. So you can never have enough X's.
That's right. That's what Jan says. I mean, who doesn't like a good axe?
Exactly. All right. I'm just going to move our miniatures away because we will be spawning enemies there now, and we will be repositioning anyway, so they're not in the way. So what do? We reshuffle the enemy deck, and now we spawn. Again, spawning happens also in tile activation order, so we spawn on each map tile, starting with the gate map tile, but we don't spawn on fortified map tiles. So that means the first space where we spawn is this one. Mm-hmm. So let's see. We get the covert bomber. He's back. All right. Let's see, where did we put the standee for it? What happened? I'm confused. Ah, there he is, hiding in the back. And he gets, again, we place the hit point token, or the health token on his hit point bar. Next enemy. Ah, the Wraith. Nice. As we place it, we can read through that one, because that's a fun enemy.
Fast. Target people. Attack 3. A hero that takes damage from the Wraith performs move 2 towards the gate. Ooh, knocks you back. Interesting.
Yeah. So what does that mean? Like, she targets enemy heroes, so she's going to be focusing us if we're on the map tile where she is. Fast means that she, even after moving, she will still try to attack. So yeah. So even after she's moved, she will try to do an attack. And attack 3 is actually pretty strong. That's half my hit points, and even more than half than your hit points. So she's pretty tough if she attacks us. What do we have over here? Let's see. Oh, the Cobra Trapper. He's also back.
Ooh. Oh, our traps take him out.
Yeah. Well, now we have more spaces where we have traps, so more spaces where he can attack us, which will be even more annoying. The Cobalt Thief is back as well, but he's down here.
Not for long. He's a fast little guy.
Yeah, he'll probably still be the first to reach the gate anyway. But let's see. Then spawning on the other side. So here we get the cave worm again. All right. The Cobalt Warrior. He's new. He also targets players. Attack 2. He has evasion as a defensive trait, so he gets an evasion token. Evasion means that the first attack hitting this enemy will actually deal 0 damage, and just deactivate the evasion, so we will flip the evasion marker over when he takes his first attack. And essentially then we can hit him as much as we want until the end of his next turn, when he will regain the evasion and evade again the next one then. All right, let's see, he has 5 hit points. Oh, what happened? He has 5 hit points, yep. And then let's move over here. What do we have? Oh, I forgot the standee.
Standee also with evasion.
Yeah, so another evasion token.
Attack 2, if this had a valid target. Attack 1 against a different target on an adjacent map tile.
Yeah. So he will not try to attack from range, but once he has something on his own map tile, he will start attacking stuff on the adjacent map tiles as well through it. And then last one, the Rune Golem. Okay, we already had that one. Yeah, it's actually, we're quite lucky because he is a little bit less dangerous if he spawns in the back line like this. Otherwise, it's pretty annoying to have him in the front line constantly bashing our traps. But yeah, this way it's a little bit better for us. All right, that's all the enemies spawned. Now we have the next step. We're still in the preparation phase. The last step in the preparation phase is 2.3, position heroes on fortified map tiles. So now we can decide who of us starts where. So we can decide, we can both start on the same map tile, or we can also start on different map tiles. That's up to us now, where we want to start.
Wraith is gonna be a problem. The good news is we have these spinning blades that will deal some damage to the evasion characters.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Goshoki mentioned that too. Traps are really good for that as well because the evade is gone for the entire hero turn. So if one of us takes him out, that'll be great. Cave Worm is only going for the gate.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what makes sense to target here. What's your biggest threat? Do we divide and conquer a little bit? You thinking, or
hard to say. Like, I mean, the Wraith is undead, so maybe that's more something for you.
Okay.
Because you have your heal.
That's true.
So I could maybe start. Yeah, I probably, yeah, maybe let's do divide and conquer, and I take maybe the left side. It's maybe better for me.
Okay.
Or actually, I could. Oh, you're starting there, then I'm just going to start here, and then I'm just
Yeah,
going to.
but you split the party. I know. I know. It's so tough.
Yeah.
Nothing came bad from splitting the party. What are you talking about? It's fine. Fine.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what what happens.
David's last words.
Yeah, but that can actually be pretty bad if you decide to do it in the wrong way. But the good thing is, because we have the move 3 on my character, like if we split the party, we have already mitigated one of the worst or the biggest weaknesses of Harkon, because Harkon is super slow otherwise. He's only got move 1, but with move 3, one of his biggest weaknesses is mitigated. So
yeah, for sure. For sure.
it won't be as bad as it is in some of the, like in the usual dungeon crawl when you split the party. Hopefully, we'll see. All right, but I think we're good to go, right?
I think we're good. Let's do it.
All right, let's see what happens. So again, type activation order, enemies activate first. So Cobalt Bomber, yeah, he will just be moving. No trap in range, so no traps. No gate. He only goes for the gate. No gate in range, so.
And we got the Wraith, who's gonna move 1 and try attacking after they move, because there's no one in the spot.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Nothing happening yet.
And we have the Trapper, who on enemy turn, on one hero anywhere on a map tile with a trap, which is none of us, fortunately, because we're not with a trap. So we don't take any damage.
Sure. Yeah, I'm still chilling at the gate, so everything's fine.
It's almost like we planned that. I totally forgot about that ability.
And he moves. All right, but no trap in range yet. And the Cobalt Thief.
The Thief's on the gate map. Exhaust 1 item, which he's not doing. Otherwise, he's moving 3, so he's a little quick little guy.
Yeah, putting on his running shoes. Yep. Let's move the card so we know roughly where he is.
Okay.
And then moving to the other side, we have the Cave Worm. Again, Cave Worm is just pretty straightforward. One step at a time, moving towards the gate.
Mm-hmm. Warrior. So he's going to move 1 space because does he any enemies or any heroes?
Yep.
And then the Spearman, he doesn't see anybody, so he's just going to move as well.
Exactly.
Actually, everyone's marching.
Yeah, everyone here is just.
And we got the Golem, who also is marching. So.
Yeah, just going towards traps. Well, not towards traps, towards the gate, but once he hits traps, he will just attack them. Okay, trap time, which is pretty boring on the first turn.
Yeah. Oh, this one works.
Yeah, the trap works, but like that's the one.
Oh, he's immune.
He's immune. So yeah.
Okay.
So our turn and time to shine.
Wraith has 8 health. Now, because it's undead, if I did my heals, range 2 heal. That's actually 2 damage on it. That's interesting. And we have thief heading towards us. I wonder if I slow down the thief, buys a little more time to use our weapons without exhausting them, and then I can use my heal 2 range 2 blessing to target on the wraith.
You could do. The thing is with the thief that with the slowing, you can't slow in range. So because the thief's not in your map tile, you
He's
can't
not a
slow
map
it.
tile.
You
You're
could
right.
slow the bomber if you wanted to, but you can't slow the thief.
You're right. And the problem is, even if I don't deal with the wraith, it's gonna move and deal me 3, which is more than half my health, which is not ideal. Man, this is tricky. I'm not sure what to do here.
Yeah, I took the easy side.
I could do 3. I do have the healing bomb 4. That could be a lot of damage. 4 of the 8 down to half health. And I can get in there and smashy maybe. Okay. Here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that I put all my eggs in one basket and go for the wraith.
All right.
I don't know if it's a good idea or not. We'll find out. So let's move 1 space by activating advance.
Yeah.
And then let's go ahead and do the reinforce, because I got other guys on me. There's no traps to heal, that's okay, but it's going to be 2 damage plus armor 1.
I'm going to get you an armor token.
Thank you.
There it is.
And at 2 damage, I will deal to the wraith, so 1, 2.
Okay.
Now, what I'm thinking about doing is it's early, but I think it's worth it to use the healing bomb to heal 4.
Okay.
And because this is undead, it's going to take 4 damage. Oh, not that one.
Oh, nice.
So
That's
down to
2. Okay, that's cool.
I do have this, but I moved, so I can't use it. So I think that's all I got.
Okay. So time for the cave worm. What do we do here? Let's see. I will do. Yeah, let's do the exhausting march. So let's move 3, take 1 damage. So I take 1 damage, going down to 5, moving 3. I will only move 2 because I want to just reach the cave worm.
Yep.
And then let's go for the bull rush, which is 2 plus movement value, which is 3. So that's attack 5. Rah. Bam. Down to 4 hit points.
Nice.
And yeah, I think that's it for now.
Okay.
I don't want to spend any of my other abilities right now. I think. Do I? On the other side. Yeah, no. I'll wait. That's fine. Okay. That's that. Enemy turns.
Yep.
So
it looks like this guy's first, Mr. Exploder.
Yeah.
So he is just going for the gate. So he's moving.
Yep. Moving 1.
And then we have the wraith. Now the wraith target party is a player, so it is going to attack me. I assume it's not going to move because it's happy where it is. Correct?
Yeah. Exactly. So this one's not going to move.
So I take 3 damage, minus 1 armor, so I only take 2. So I'm down to 3 health. And then it says here that takes damage from the wraith performers move 2 towards gate. So now I'm forced to move 1, 2 right down here.
Yep.
Okay.
That was a scary encounter, so you better take some. All right.
I got Mr. Thief. Moving 3, he's going towards the gate.
1, 2, 3. He's on the gate now.
And we got the Trapper. Oh, wait. We have done this. Hold on, this would have affected things. Hold on. Because I got knocked back here at the start of his turn. Oh, never mind. Wrong guy. The Trapper is going to matter now.
Yep.
Because one hero anywhere on the map with them trapped suffers 1 attack. Because I'm next to a trap, I will suffer 1 attack. But because I have armor, I negate it, so I should still be good.
Yeah. So I could also take it, but since you have armor, it doesn't make sense for me to take that one. So
Okay.
we'll keep it with our second tank now, our first tank.
Yes.
And then he will just move one space after his ability.
And that's this lane. So now it's your lane.
Yeah, cave worm, pretty straightforward. Just moving towards the gate every turn. We have the kobold warrior moving here. We have the kobold spearman also still moving towards me because he can't attack anything yet. And then we have the rune golem also moving because he doesn't have any traps in range yet.
Okay, trap time.
All right. Yep, and finally something's happening.
So this guy,
level 2 blade trap.
Oh, he can get hit by it. Sweet, and that's a level. Oops.
Level 2.
Level 2. Yep. So level 2 blade trap does 3 1 attacks.
So he's down to 2 hit points.
5, 1, 2, 3, down to 2.
Yeah. And then
this one will go next, which unfortunately does nothing because he's immune.
Yep.
And then this guy, he's not immune. Oh, so this is interesting. Want to talk through this one?
Yeah, so he has the evasion token, which means normally the first attack against him will deal 0 damage, but this trap does 2 times attack 1, which is perfect because the first attack will just deactivate the evasion, and the second attack will actually deal 1 damage, so he's still even suffers damage from this trap. So this is kind of the perfect trap to have there for him.
Yeah, Jan has a good question here. He says the kobold thief avoids all traps, and yes, that's true because a couple reasons. One, he's immune. And the other reason is because he moved 3, he moved right past the trap before I had a chance to activate.
Yeah, exactly. Also makes sense. He's very nimble, so he can evade traps. The other thing is also for balancing reasons, because otherwise it would be very like luck based if he would end up in a trap based map tile or not. So
sure.
For those 2 reasons, it's actually makes sense for him to have some trap immunity as well. And also it's more fun if he starts deactivating your items.
Say so. Quick, use your items.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, he just wants to play, and you can work around that by just exhausting your items if you want to.
Jan says I don't like him.
Yeah, I can imagine. Although we were pretty lucky with the enemy draw yet, there's another enemy in here, which is actually one of my favorite enemies who probably has even fewer fans than this guy. But we will probably hopefully get him on the last one. If we don't draw him, I will cheat and just put him in.
Okay.
All right, but let's go with the ones we have for now, because I think those are annoying enough for the time being. So
totally.
Let's see what we do with those. Trap turns are done. So what can we do? We have with the kobold thief with full hit points on the gate, he will start deactivating our items next. We have the kobold bomber here at 2 hit points, who will move towards the gate next. We have the worm here who will move, and we have the kobold warrior who, if I stay there, he will just stay there and attack me. Yeah. So many options to do stuff. The question is, what do we do with it?
Well,
the question is, do we do another bomber setup or not?
Yeah, because this thief is going to deactivate our items, I plan to use my bow and basically not move this turn.
Okay, then I would need to use my throwing axe on this turn as well, because otherwise he will deactivate my item. So
yeah, unless there's some way we can take him out. Jan has a question: do you need to both focus on the same target? No, we can choose. We can focus on the same or divide up and whatever we want to. Either way works.
Yeah, like also a trap which has multiple attacks. It could attack multiple targets, so you could decide which attack goes in against which target.
Yeah.
The only thing is that one attack needs to be against one target, or one, like any effect that you have can only ever have like a single target. So one attack has one target, or one heal has one target. But if it's multiple heals or multiple attacks, they can always be distributed as you want.
Oh, Jan meant from a strategic standpoint, he says, do we focus on one guy for this turn? Maybe.
Okay.
I mean, with this bow, if I don't move, I can shoot the wraith and just take care of that annoyance, which I think is a pretty big threat.
Yeah, that may make a lot of sense to take him out. I'm just thinking, like, if we use both our items anyway, we could kind of just weaken the enemies, and then just we could do another bomber setup if we want to for the next turn.
We could.
Because, like, the question is, do you want to explode him in your map tile right now, or do we want to
Not really.
have him explode? And if we want to have him explode in the gate, we could just soften up the enemy so the explosion does a bit more stuff.
Oh, I kind of like that. Especially since the cave worm will be there too. He'll blow up all that. That seems pretty nice.
Yeah. Okay, then I would probably throw my axe at the Cobalt Thief, so he is already damaged for the next turn, and then I would start doing some damage on the cave worm, so he reaches the gate with 3 or less hit points, so that when the Cobalt Bomber explodes, they will both go down.
I like it. You want to start the train?
I can do that, yeah. So I will just do a move one. Yeah, why not? I will just use the move one action for now. Move over here. I was actually considering using the armor, so I could take the attack one from the trapper next turn. But actually, I think on the subsequent turn, I will be taking attacks as well. So I'm just going to save the armor for now.
Okay.
And then I'm just doing like the cheapest thing I can do. Let's do the engage one with attack 2 against the worm. So he's down to 2 hit points,
nice.
which is enough. And then the throwing axe, I'll throw the axe at the thief before he can steal it. So he goes down to 2 hit points. Yeah, steal that.
You have it early. I like it. Okay, I'll take mine. Let's do Hunter's Bow. Attack 2, range 2. So range 2, I'm right here. So 1, 2, attack 2. That'd be right at the Wraith spot. That's 2 damage to her. I'll take her out.
Bye-bye, Wraith. All right.
Okay.
Nice.
Then I can't move, so I got some options here. I think. Ooh. Don't have to damage them.
Oh yeah. By the way, your armor's gone because
thank you.
Beginning of the turn.
I don't want to slow because I want the bad guy to move there. I think what I'll do is throw flask. You know what? I'll just hit the bomber one time because I can.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will heal myself for 1.
Mm-hmm.
And then my second thing I'm going to do is probably another heal. Heal 2, range 2.
Yeah.
You in range? You are in range. Let's put
I'm
you in
range.
full health.
Okay, then I'm up to 6.
There we go.
Nice. All right.
Okay. Let's do the enemies.
Okay, so Cobalt Thief, nothing to steal, but he will attack the gate for 1, so that brings us down to 15 hit points. Next up, Cobalt Bomber. He's just moving towards the gate for now.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have the Cobalt Trapper again. He will do an attack 1 on one of our map tiles. I don't mind. I can take it, or you, I don't mind.
I'll take it. You got more health.
All right, and then at the end, he will just, after this turn start ability, he will just move. So,
yep,
1 towards the gate.
Okay.
Let's go to the other side. We have the Cobalt Warrior. Nothing to it. Right? At the end of his turn, yes. I mean, we could do it now, but like it's at the end of the turn usually. But first, he would do like his target check. He can't attack a player on his map tile. He can't attack the gate, so he will just move. Oh, we forgot this one. Cave one first. Cave one moves. Because he will go for the gate. Now it's the Cobalt Warrior. Cobalt Warrior tries to attack, wants to attack a player, can't do that. Wants to attack the gate, can't do that, so he will just move. And then we have the Spearman. Doesn't have anything in range yet, so he will move. And then we have the Rune Golem, which can move as well.
Okay.
Okay, starting to get a bit crowded there, but
it is. Trap time, so...
Yep.
This has no targets. This one does have a target. What is this guy? This is the warrior.
Yeah, it's an attack 2 against him, but he has evasion. So the first attack gets absorbed and just removes the evasion. So only the evasion gets flipped over. Spearman, he gets 2 times attack 1 because it's a level 1 blade trap. So 2 separate attacks. First attack, deactivating evasion. Second attack, moving the health token 1. So doing 1 damage actually. And that's it with traps for now.
Jan has a question.
Okay.
It says, are the standees the way to know who's where when you start having a lot of people on the same square?
Yeah, the standees are like you see by the standees which enemies were, and then you try to kind of keep the cards nearby so you have a little bit better of an overview of where they are on the map.
Yeah, technically you don't even have to move the cards with the standees. You can just use standees. It's just a little bit easier to have them close by for recording purposes here, so you guys can follow along
Yeah.
easier. But you can just have a big stack of them. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah, you could place them somewhere else on the map. I just feel like it's helpful. It's recommended to move them, but we could place them somewhere completely else, or somewhere else on the table, if we wanted to.
Okay,
all
so
right.
that was traps. Now it's our turns.
Exactly. So who wants to go for the Cobalt Bomber? Because we don't have any ranged attacks, I think, so it would be a melee move.
Oh, rats. I do have armor. I could do that. We don't have any range attacks. Do you have the ultimate? But that seems like a waste.
I mean, you could use the ultimate, of course, yeah. But then you would have, depends if that's necessary or not. The thing is, like, the question is, do we, like, I would prefer to actually engage this guy over here, so
Okay.
I'm there when the Rune Golem approaches next turn. I feel like that could be useful.
Okay. Yeah, I can run in the fray and trigger the explosion.
Okay.
So let's just see what happens. What's the worst? Right, here we go. Let's do a move one. Actually, here's a good question. If I do this,
yes.
does the attack have me before the armor?
Yeah, sadly, yes. You always need to do them in order. So, damn. Yeah.
Bummer.
Would have been a nice plan, but that's not gonna help because the attack triggers the effect, and so the effect would happen before you gain the armor.
And the repair's not going to do anything, so it doesn't make sense to even do that. Everything's going to be dead there. Yeah. Bummer. Well, I think it has to be done, so let's just do it. Take one for the team. So let's move one, and then attack two. And we'll attack... Another question. Could you split up that attack? Two different targets.
No, you can, like, it's a single attack, you can't split it. Only if it was like 2 times attack 1 or something, then you could decide if it goes against the same or a different target.
Yeah, not Bummer, Steve. Bomber. Thank you. Thank you, Jan. So we'll do 2 attack to the Bomber, which will take him out. Which will, of course, cause the explosion. Yeah.
Yeah. Boom. Okay, all right, let's see. Pretty much everything's dead there, except for you and the gate. But that's attack 3 to the Cobalt Thief, he's dead. Attack 3 to the Cave Worm, he's dead. So, yeah. And then attack 3 to the gate, so that one goes down to 12.
Yep.
And then attack 3 to you, so that you're down to 1.
Fine, guys.
Nice
fine.
One. Nice one. Yeah. It's just a flesh wound.
It's just a flesh wound. just a little warm in here. A little warm.
Yeah, looking good there.
The Kobold Bummer. The pitiful creature feeds on its own sadness. Nice.
Yeah. All right. That was your entire turn, right?
That was my whole turn, yes.
Jumping in there and almost getting yourself killed. All right. Let's see what I can do to match that epicness. That'll be difficult, I think. Let's see. I think I'm just gonna take out the Cobalt Warrior for now, or I could just leave him to you, but I don't think that's that good.
Okay. You don't trust me with 1 health.
Well, I mean, you could heal up pretty fast, so
I could heal
it's
fast.
not like
it's
not super critical. So I could also leave him to you and start attacking the Cobalt Warrior. The thing is, I can't. Well, I could kill the Cobalt Warrior.
Let's talk about the
Spearman
real quick. The Spearman's right here, right?
Huh?
The Spearman's right here, and his thing says, if this had a valid target, Attack 1 against a different target on an adjacent map tile. So there's a potential that he could move here. No, he doesn't move and attack. Never mind. He's not fast. So
Yeah,
okay.
that's the one thing, and also he has the target any type, so he will just attack anything that comes within range. So he has currently something in range, a valid target.
Right.
So on his next turn, he would start attacking the trap. Like
Right.
with his target any enemies, they will try to attack literally anything. And so if there were multiple valid target types in the same map tile, we could decide which one he would go for. But if there aren't, then he will just go for whatever's there. So in this case, he would go for the trap. If I join him there, we can then decide if he goes against me or against the trap. And then the adjacent one is again against one in an adjacent map tile, could go against me or the trap.
Gotcha.
So let's see. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna kill the spearman because he will always attack in the adjacent map tile as well, which is super annoying. So I'll probably do that. So that's exhausting march. Move 3, I take 1 damage. I go down to 4. I move over here, and then I do the bull rush, which is an attack 5, which he only has 4, but better safe than sorry. So he's down. And yeah, that's the spearman. Spearman gone. Bam.
Nice job.
All right, and let's take a look. Yeah, that's it for now. The ultimates don't make sense yet. There's no enemy there left. So I could have taken out the Cobalt Warrior with an ultimate before I moved, but I feel like I'd rather keep it for the Rune Golem and deal more damage there.
Pain to deal with.
Okay.
Enemy
your turn. No, you still your turn, right? Or was it? Or was it?
No, I blew it myself. Remember?
Yeah, right. Yeah, that was the big explosion. Yeah, all right. Okay, enemy turns, right. So this guy, I'm on a gate with on a map tile with a trap. So I'm suffering an attack 1, which brings me down to 3. And then he moves. So moving him over here. I'll move the card along so it's easier to see where he is. And then we have the Cobalt Warrior. He doesn't have a valid target, so
he's gonna move here, it looks like.
Yeah.
And then what was over here?
And the Rune Golem doesn't have a trap in range yet, so he will move 1 and join me up there. All right. Trap turns, and this one, yeah, let's see.
Boo, immune.
Yeah, Trapper is immune, that's bad. And this one here, we have the Blade Trap, but that does 2 times attack 1 and 2 times attack 1, which gets reduced by armor. It's 2 times 0, which also isn't great.
Yep.
So yeah, traps aren't much help this turn. So our turns again.
Yeah, I definitely want to heal. How much health does this guy have in my space? This warrior. He's got evasion. Ugh. And his Cobalt Trapper is going to be attacking the trap in his spot.
Yeah.
What if I were to, a little crazy, just leave the warrior where he is, and then move over here and start taking out the trapper? Because my understanding is the trapper is going to be targeting the trap and not me.
Yep.
Oh wait, but if I'm on a space with a trap, I'm gonna take damage, which I'm on at 1 health. That's well, no, I'm just armor up, so I'll be okay. Yeah, I'll be okay. And he's so let's do that. Let me try this. I'm gonna move to a sprint, only using 1 of it, and then I'm going to head and do my reinforce, which is attack 2, armor up, and repair 1. Which the repair isn't gonna do anything. Oh well, that's okay. It's something. 2 damage.
All right.
What would the word then what would the warrior do then? Attack the gate. Yes, the warrior is going to attack the gate if there's nothing else in its spot. That's correct.
Yeah. Because he always does the preferred target check, no enemy there, no hero on his map tile, and then he does his gate check. Can you attack the gate?
Yep.
He can, so he will not move. Instead, he will just attack the gate.
I feel
like any enemy standing on this one will never move because they will always attack the gate.
Yeah, I feel like because I couldn't take him out this turn anyway, I'd rather take out this incoming threat. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure. I made decisions. Not sure they're the right decisions.
Yeah, like this turn will be a little bit like it's there's no perfect solution, I think, because same thing for me. Like I will do the spot weakness, which gives me a pierce and an attack 3. So I will do 3 damage to the golem, which brings it down to 6 hit points. But the thing is, I can only deal another 2 and 3, which means another 5 damage, which brings it to 1 hit point. So I can't kill it in this turn, sadly. But yeah, that's the maximum I can do right now. I could actually even, I don't really need the attack 3 on this one, so I'm just going to go with the attack 2 because it doesn't really change much.
Oh yeah, save your overpower. Yeah.
It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter really.
I mean, if you wanted, you could do your double attack, right? It's a little bit crazy.
I could do the double attack. The thing is, like, then I would have used both ultimates,
right.
And the thing is, I would still need to use my top row skill to finish it off. I couldn't do it just with both ultimates, and that means I couldn't move this turn anyway. So I don't know if it's worth it right now.
Yeah, I see what you're doing. Wait, doing 8 damage on an armored enemy is not satisfying. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a pretty strong round, but sadly this annoying guy has like 9 hit points, so it's just short of what I need. So yeah.
Okay.
But I'll go with the 7 damage, which is enough. I need to hit him again next turn anyway. So or let's go with the 8. Sounds better. At least he's almost dead. 1 hit point. Okay. Good. Enemy turn.
Yep. So this guy's just going to stay where he is and do 2 damage to the gate.
Yep, taking it down to 10. So that's 10 hit points on the gate left.
Trapper is targeting the trap for 2 damage. So it goes from 5 to a 3.
First he does his turn start. But you have your armor, right?
I forgot to grab it.
Yeah. So you ignore that one pretty much. So yeah.
Yep.
And then he does 2 to the trap. Yeah. Yep. Which you already did, right? So. Yep. And then the rune golem does pretty much the same thing, attacking a trap. He does 2 against traps, so the trap goes down to 3 hit points. Okay. Trap turns don't do anything because still the same issue. This guy's trap immune and this guy has armor. So yeah.
Okay, our turns.
So
this guy has 3 health left. Okay. I'll just do my turn because I think I pretty quick one here. I'm going to do my throw flask. I'm going to do attack 1. It's going to be on the trapper. And then I heal 1. I'm going to throw it up in the air and heal myself. And I'll do engage attack 2. So let's go ahead and deal 2 damage to him and take him out.
Okay, nice. He's gone. Excellent.
Yes, Jan, I still have an ultimate, and I could use it. It is Pierce 3, Attack 3 anywhere. The only kicker is if I use it now, at the end of the combat, I only get 1 of my ultimates back. So I'm kind of saving my ultimates for the last combat round, if possible.
Yeah, like could have been worth it to use it at this round, but it might also be not so. And right now we still have like some hit points left on the gate. So
yeah,
I'm just gonna do something like I'm just gonna stay here and do the attack 2 on the rune golem, which gets reduced to 1 because he has armor 1, but doesn't matter. He only has 1 hit point left. So rune golem's gone as well.
Does the gate heal at the end of combat? It does not.
Nope.
That's the big risk we're playing here.
Yep.
All right. 1 guy left.
Oh. Yeah, but it's his turn now. Oh, you've lost your armor ability, and it's the Kobold Warrior's turn. He takes our gate down to 8 hit points.
I'm getting worried.
And yeah, still looking good. Everything's okay. And then it's our turns. So do you want to go first? Because I feel like my move will be wasted if I go and run into his evasion.
I think that makes perfect sense, honestly. So let me go ahead and do. Let's see, how far away am I? I am just one space away. Okay, let's go ahead and do advance. Move 1. Run over here.
Yeah.
And then I'm just going to peck him.
The only thing I want to see is that the evasion is gone. I don't care about anything else pretty much. The rest.
Let's just do engage 2. So let's do 2 damage to him, which just grew with the evasion. So.
Okay, excellent. So it's time again. Rah! Time for bull rush. All right, exhausting march. I suffer 1 damage, go down to 2 hit points.
Yep.
And then it's the bull rush again, moving, and that's attack 5. He only has 4 hit points, so down. Bam.
Nice.
All right.
Jan has a question.
I don't feel very healthy, but it feels very satisfying.
It is. He says, does repair only repair traps or the gate too? It does only repair traps.
Yes, this is one of the 2 favorite questions I get is, can I heal the gate and can I repair the gate? Nope. The only things that can repair the gate are those that actually exactly state that you can do it, like with this one, the barrel of meat. That one restores like 2 hit points, 1 hit point of the gate. And there is one other ability in the entire game, which is from Tora the Herseer. She has an ultimate which can actually restore the gate by 1 hit point, but that's only an ultimate, so you cannot continuously heal it up.
That's cool. All right.
All right. So actually, those seals are pretty difficult to repair because those are actually infused souls of dead Vikings, which were used to create those centuries ago. So it's not something you can just easily heal or repair up with a hammer or stuff. But we're done with that, and now because we are now in the full rewards phase, so to speak. So we go through this phase again. We take the 4.1. We check the quest marker or story marker, the quest board. Let's see what the story marker does. Story token 2, read verse 110. There. Okay, this is just some tutorial text that we now how we level up. I can explain that as we go, so we don't need to read that. We place the story marker 3 in here, and that's everything with verse 110. And now we move to the rest of the rewards phase. So 4.1 is done. 4.2, we all both reset 1 ultimate ability. So I get this one back, and you get yours back. We both reset our used items. Then next we remove the skill tokens, status tokens. So skill tokens, we don't have any status tokens right now, so we don't need to remove those, but those would be armor or stuff like that. There's also negative statuses. Then level up, and now it's time for level 3. Yes.
All right.
Finally. All right, shuffling those, and let's again draw 4 of these. Now level 3, we don't have level 3 slot. Instead, you will see on each of these cards, on the top right, you will see an arrow which indicates in which skill row they can be placed. And they can be placed there and cover up any skill. So we can cover up the level 1 skill or 2 skill, or we could cover up another of our existing skills, which are part of the base tableau. But we still each only get 1 of these, so we need to see and decide which ones we want to take. What do we have? We have the powerful blow, attack 4. That's pretty nice. But only for the bottom row. For the that we can put the bottom rows on the bottom and the top rows on the top, so we see where they go. Which other ones do we have? We have healing winds, move 2 and 2 times heal 1, which is quite nice. Wall of steel, move 2, armor 1, retaliate 2. That one's pretty nice as well. And inspire, 1 ally anywhere, move 1, attack 3. So with that, you can move the other hero, not yourself, obviously, but you can move the other one by 1 and then have that person do an attack 3. So yeah, those are all pretty nice.
Those all sound really good. I'm trying to think of what makes sense to replace.
I'm actually thinking like which one are you considering? Which skill?
Well, I don't have a lot of attacks. I'm leaning towards powerful blow or wall of steel.
Yeah, I'm actually thinking inspire for me, so I could move you.
Oh, sure.
Which could be really nice. So which would give you an attack 3. And because I have 3 movements in the top, the one thing that isn't so good is that I may then at times have to use my take 1 damage skill, and I can't. Well, I can ignore it, but like I feel like this one would be really nice to move you around and give you the attack 3. And also it could even work on the same turn that you use your bow, because it's not the same turn, because one thing is my turn, the other one is your turn. So
It's a good idea.
Unless you really want the Inspire, I would take the Inspire, I think, so I can move you around.
I'm leaning towards the Powerful Blow just because I've got 2 engage to just do the same thing. It might be good to have a bit of variety. So let's take that.
Gives you a lot of extra damage as well with attack 4. It's pretty strong.
Okay.
Excellent. And the other ones would be protection or heal, but damage is also kind of healing, right? So
damage is also healing. That's right. Best defense is a good offense, right?
Exactly. So that's that. We have like the gain. Oh yeah, we add 2 items to Dara's card. So Dara expands her collection here, so we can draw 2 new ones there. We get the heavy plate armor. Nice. Armor 3, retaliate 4, but we suffer exhaust. What does exhaust do? Exhaust means you get an exhaust token which blocks one of your skills for the rest of the combat.
Right.
And the other one is the Scroll of Frost, which is an attack 1 with range 1 and slow.
Ooh.
So that's cool because you can slow at range. Yeah. And that's that. And then what else do we get? We get 6 silver, 2 runestones, and 3 trap components. So 6 silver, 2 runestones, and 3 trap components. So 1,
there's rope.
2, 3. Right now we only have basic trap components in our deck. Later on we can also gain advanced trap components which do specific things. These ones, like the text on there, is just flavor text. These are only used because they are used to upgrade like core traps. The one for the ropes isn't unlocked yet, but that'll happen eventually probably. So, all right, that's that. And now we can move to the next phase, which is the exploration phase again.
Yeah, Janssen, you might want to hit the inn and heal a bit. It's an option.
Yeah, definitely. Like the thing is that to heal, we need to spend resources, so it's part of the preparation phase, which is phase 2. So we will need to wait until then. I mean, that nothing bad will happen until then. So it's not a problem, but yeah.
So
you'll probably want to save some money for healing, yeah, because it costs 1 silver per hero to heal up to full hit points.
Yeah. Just a scratch. Your arms off. Let's explore K. Let's go there.
K, all right. I like that. Most people actually ignore K when I play the scenario, so it's nice to explore K once in a while. Place map tile 15A. So we need 15A, and then we read verse 107. I'll check for 15A.
I'll read 107 while you do that. You walk down one of the 2 paths leading from the storage room. The walls here are less refined, and it reeks of kobolds. On the ground, you find an assortment of materials you could utilize for trap repairs. Unlock trap component 18 on your party sheet and gain it immediately. Draw a tier 1 event card.
Okay, so trap component 18 is, I just need to look that up. Where is the trap components? I think it's in here, yeah. I just need to search for that one. Actually, I'm not 100% sure if I put the numbers on here as already in the mod. Otherwise, but I know which one it is. So it's cool. This one. This one is the one we get. I'm just going to quickly hide the other one so we don't spoil too much. Oh, but there's the repair kit. So we gain the repair kit. So we directly gain this, and we can use it actually to restore a trap and heal it. So here, heal a trap, or even theoretically. This one is an outdated version. The new version can even repair destroyed traps. This one can't. But it can only be used because it's a resource. We can only use that during the preparation phase, not during combat.
Right.
All right, and then we also draw a tier 1 card, right?
Tier 1 card, yep.
Okay, so tier 1 cards are here. This is the tier 1 event one, and you can draw one.
Okay. We have this one.
Oh, nice.
You hear noise in the distance as you approach. You find a small stream surrounded by healing spirits dancing through the air. Choose one option. Rest. Fully heal 2 heroes? Oh my goodness. Or
Oh,
draw
that could
spirit
be nice.
energy, refresh 1 ultimate, which you don't need. Gather and sell some healing water, gain 2 silver. Or catch and sell a spirit, gain 4 silver, then read global event 1.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we should take advantage of the fully healed 2 heroes.
Yeah, we can do that. All right,
As
then
tempting
let's
as
rest.
like
And
seeing what global event 1 is, but we'll leave spoilers for people to find that out later.
yeah, like we can like do a little spoiler with this one if we want to.
Sure.
Or we can put it to a vote. I don't know. Like I'm open for it to just explore that option if we want to, but we don't have to. Yeah, you want to go for it?
Let's see what the chat says. And there's a slight delay, so it's a 7-second delay. So people watching, if you want to see a slight spoiler with global event 1, let us know. Otherwise, we'll keep going. So. Don't anger the spirits. Trust me, if I only play spirit long enough, he says. That's just don't anger the spirits. Okay.
Don't anger the spirits. Yeah, those are some wise words there.
Okay, so I think we'll avoid that for now.
Okay,
But maybe describe generically what global event 1 means.
So what would happen, like in terms of game mechanics now, is we would global events are part of the rule book. So you have these two documents included. You have the campaign book, which we are working with now, and you have the rule book, which also has sections like the global events. And this global event would mean we would read the event there. Something would happen, and like you have an evolving event deck in this game. So like this is going to trigger. I will spoiler that much. This is going to trigger that this card gets removed from the game and another card gets added to the deck. And this is a permanent change for the rest of the campaign. So you will alter your event deck throughout the campaign, and it will evolve, and certain things that you do will have an impact on things you will encounter in the future.
Perfect.
All right. But we will choose to rest, so we will fully heal 2 heroes.
All right.
Going back to 6 points. Excellent.
Okay.
That's that. Let's see. And yeah, that was the exploration for that one. So we can explore on E.
Yep. So E.
Let's see. D-E. E says place map tile 6A, and we draw another tier 1 event card.
Okay, I'll do that. What am I going to grab that?
There we go.
So you find this one. You find an old rusty artifact. It looks worthless to you, but Dara, the merchant, seems to differ. She offers you some silver and a discount in return, so we gain 1 silver. Add a new item in her cart. Next time you buy an item, pay only half its cost rounded up. That's really nice.
Excellent. So we can keep that card as a reminder that we have a discount when the next time we're there. Okay. And we add one additional card. So what do we get? Let's see. Ooh, nice. The Rune of Flame.
+1 to all attacks from skills and special abilities this turn.
Yeah.
That'd be really good to get like multi-attack.
Yeah, sadly we didn't pick that one, did we?
Nope.
So, too bad. It's still not bad, but with the multi-attack, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, you cracked me up here. It's a rounded shield. Can we round down? Nice, Jan. Very well done. Okay, so we still haven't ended exploration. Oh wait,
yeah. So we are with.
So we do
with F.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's take a look. F is there. Place map tile 17A. Then read verse 103. So I want to place map tile 17.
Read that.
Okay.
Let me make sure it's the start of this. Yeah, it is. Okay, good. You rush into the cave, but halt abruptly when you spot a strange-looking kobold wearing feather and bone armaments standing next to a spider twice his own size. Others of his kin are gathered round him. As he sees you, the kobold's shaman gestures to your direction, and glowing green clouds emerge from its hand, slowly drifting toward you. Magic, take cover! Tara shouts as she quickly retreats into the previous corridor. Place elite enemy kobold shaman onto this map tile. It's the only spawn on this tile. Start preparation phase.
All right, so we get this funny guy here. There he is, the kobold shaman.
Ooh, right.
And he gets placed on this map tile here. So let's put him there.
Oh, good
And
question, Liquider. Thanks for dropping by. Liquider's asking, when is the Kickstarter launch?
Kickstarter launch is the 7th of August. So 1.5 months roundabout to go.
Yep.
Um,
Take a look at this guy. What does he do?
He is very nice. So elite enemies are a bit more complex than other ones. So perform only the first attack possible. So you first choose one of these, not choose, you go through the first one, which would be an attack 2 against a hero on his own map tile. If he cannot do that, he will instead perform an attack 1 in range 2 against the hero. If he cannot do that, he will perform an attack 1 against the gate if it is within range 5.
Oh, wow.
If he can't do either of these, he will just do the same as any other enemy that can't attack. He will just move one. So he has an extremely long range against the gate, so he won't get too close to us. And at the end of his turn, he will heal, and that's the symbol for player number, so he will heal 2 on 1 kobold with missing health anywhere. He can also target himself with that because he's also a kobold. But if this does not heal any enemy, he will instead deal 1 damage to the gate.
Oof.
So as long as there are injured kobolds on the map, he will start healing those. If there aren't any injured kobolds, he will instead deal an additional damage to the gate on his turn.
Oof. He's nasty.
Yeah. That's that. So, with that being said, we can now move to the preparation phase. So preparation phase means we spend our resources. We don't need to heal up, that's excellent. And we have 7 silver and 2 runestones, and also a few trap components up here that we can use. Like this one trap component that we have, the repair kit, it can only be used now, so it makes absolute sense to probably use it because we have a lot of trap components there anyway, right?
Yeah, let's
so maybe
this one,
we
right?
want to...
Like
All right, let's do that. So we spend the repair kit and
up to 5.
heal that one up to 5.
I feel like, just for demo purposes at least, maybe we should try the rune traps so people can see that in action.
Yeah, let's do that. Why not? Rune trap, that's 6 silver, so it brings us down to 1. And we get a rune trap. And where do we want to have it? Over here, or
maybe? Because this is nasty.
Okay, let's do that. So we place the rune trap on here.
Can we level it up?
So that we can level it up. We can bring it even to maximum level with the 2 runestones that we have left. So because we can't fortify anyway, we would need 3 runestones for that. We don't have that. So, let's maybe bring it to max level. So that's 2 runestones, 2 crystals, and 1 rope that we need for that. But we have all that stuff here. We have so many trap components. That shouldn't be a problem. So that one gets put into the discard pile, and we bring it to level 3. Nice.
Super
yeah, it's pretty strong. Definitely.
That's gonna be Pierce attack 4. Nice.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, and then we don't have much left. We have our discount at Dara's card, which would reduce 1 item by half, rounded up. And we have 1 silver, so we could buy 1 for 2 or 1 for 1.
Rune flame for 2.
I mean, it's still better than buying an item for 1, probably, right?
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, I think we buy the sword, and I'm not sure what. Doesn't really make sense who gets it, but yeah.
I mean, I have multi attacks. I have the cleave, which is 2 times attack 1. So
you take it.
It's not as good. It's not as good as the true multi attack, but it's better than just using it on a regular attack. So
yeah. There we go. Boom. I like that.
Let's do that. Do you want to have the throwing axe instead, or should I keep that? I don't mind.
Nah, you're good.
Okay, excellent. I mean, we could have built you into a true range monster with like attack 2, attack 3, and attack 3 on the tableau, which would be 8 attack on range, which could be kind of fun.
That's true.
So I'm thinking that could be fun. I'm going to give you the axe.
Okay, I'll be range crazy person. Let's do it.
I mean, you can still distribute it if you want to, but if you want to, you can also like go really crazy with it.
All right, so that's our preparation step.
Yeah.
And then we move on to enemies.
Spawning enemies, right? So shuffle enemies, and we spawn them. I will respawn the first enemy here on this one, which is the rune golem. Okay. Oh, that's a nice combination on that one because this trap here is piercing, so that's the a good place for us to have him spawn there.
That's true.
Next one is the Kobold Warrior.
I saw a comment too about the distribution of enemies. So this is all these enemies in here are unique. Is that correct?
Yes, all enemies in the deck are unique, and the deck is always created at the beginning of a chapter. So the types of enemies that are in here are actually kind of predetermined at the beginning of the chapter. But different chapters have different decks. So depending also on the theme and what the storyline is and everything, there will be different enemies in here. As you can see in the back of this table, I'm not going to spoil the exact cards of these, but you can see there's a whole lot of other enemies that we're not using as part of this scenario, which you will encounter. And then there's additional bosses, additional elite enemies and stuff that you will fight as well. So next one. Oh, we need the evasion token. Oh, Frostcaller, he's new. Just gonna give him the evasion token.
Okay.
Yep, he's ranged, he's got armor, and he wants to kill us. Then let's look down here. Here we get another enemy. Let's move the bow a little bit. Oh, on that side, yeah. Let's move Toro. Oh, the bomber. All right.
Our buddy.
Yeah. would have been boring without him. So good that he's there. Let's see what happens here. Here we have the Wraith again.
I don't want that buddy back.
Yeah, let's see.
And with these society,
points there.
More room.
Yeah, we will need a little bit of the space there. All right. Next one is the Archer. We didn't have that one.
Mm-hmm.
He's also annoying. Yep, going for players at range 2, which is pretty strong. And then let's see what's on this side. We have the Cave Worm again. There we go, 9 hit points. Next one is... Ah, there he is. All right, I would have been sad if you wouldn't have drawn him at least once. The Kobold Assassin.
Oh, he's interesting.
Yep, he is pretty...
with the highest hit points, and he attacks right away. Wow.
Yep. And he also does an attack with X, and X is half of the hero's HP rounded up. So he will move onto... I have 6 HP, so on this first turn he will move on my space, and he will directly attack me for 3. So that's pretty tough.
Wow.
And then we get the Kobold Thief again, because why not? And then last but not least, we have the Spearman with 5. Oh, where is he? Spearman, there he is. And he needs an evasion token as well. Okay, I think we're pretty much set. We need to decide where we start before we activate anything.
Jan has a good question here, real quick. He says, are the enemies tiered overall? Other than the campaign, probably adding cards to the spawn deck, I assume.
The enemies are like, there's like 3 different types of enemies. So there's like basic enemies, which are the ones that we've just spawned. There's elite enemies, which are like the Kobold Spider Shaman, for example, is an elite enemy. And then there's bosses, which we don't have in this chapter, which are even stronger and have like their own tableau with their own different actions per turn. And then among these enemies, like they are slightly different in terms of how strong they are and so on. So in the beginning of the campaign, you meet mainly Kobold demons, which are like minor demons, which aren't that strong. They are still strong, but like there are stronger ones that you encounter later on during the campaign. So as you play other chapters, they have a slightly different theme because other things happen during the campaign, which change which foes you encounter, and these will be slightly stronger. Yes. But overall, it's not like they are super different because like these are already quite challenging. So it's not like they're like all have attack force or something, because that would just kill you outright.
Right.
So it gets a little bit more difficult, but not. It's so yeah. You will see different enemies. So the Wraith, for example, is more among the stronger portion of enemies. She also has like 8 hit points and stuff. There's other ones that go more in that direction as well, that you see more and more of.
Cool. Let's do it.
All right. Yeah, so we need to see where we want to start. So one thing I have on my mind is the assassin, because he will be joining me on before my first turn even. So I definitely want to see him get hurt by a trap.
You can one-shot him, can't you, with your super attack, your bull rush?
Yeah, I can one-shot him. I could theoretically one-shot him with the bull rush as well. That's true. So I don't necessarily need to be on the trap space. That's true.
Because I feel like that's worth it to avoid the 3 damage. That's going to be super annoying.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be taking those 3. So, and then I could finish him with a bull rush or with a quick / overpower combo, which also adds up to 5
Oh, wait, he's
damage.
going to activate first before we go, though. That's what you're saying?
Yes, exactly. Because he's fast, he will first do the start of first turn action, which is he will move to wherever I'm standing. And then because he's fast, even though he's moved, he will still do whatever he does in his turn, which means attacking the target with the highest hit points, which is me. And then he will deal his 3 damage to me. So I will be down to 3 hit points on the first turn, definitely.
So if you start on a trap, the trap would technically attack him, right? Because it'd be enemies go, then traps go, then we go.
Yeah, the trap would attack him only after he is attacked, and then I could attack him as well.
Yeah.
Depends a little bit on where you start. I mean, I could finish him off in 1 turn, so I don't necessarily need to start on a trap. And if I was the only one who starts on a trap, because we have the trapper, do we have the trapper? We don't have the trapper, right?
We don't.
Oh, that's nice. Okay, then that's good. So then I could even start on a trap and without any negative consequence, because otherwise I would also suffer potentially the attack 1 from the trapper. Since that isn't the case, yeah, I'm flexible with that. I could even like start here, for example, or 1, 2, 3. Yeah, maybe I start here because there's like a lot of enemies coming my way then, or maybe not.
I like that.
Depends a little bit on where you want to start and what you want to do, but that would be a nice situation to be there, maybe.
Well, I feel like you're gonna take so much damage. I wonder if it should be near you, like.
Yeah. Maybe we both start there, because you have the slow, you can keep the cave for him occupied. And I mean, the question is, like, how important would it be that we are on the right side? Like, what's happening here?
Yeah,
probably the Rune Golem is going to be occupied with the trap for a while, so depends a little bit on what you want to do. You could help me, or you could go, well, the Rune Golem is armored, so depends on where you want to.
A hesitation is because I'm not super fast. I can't.
Yeah, but I can also move you a little bit, like with the attack 3. So
that's true. That's true. So yeah, if I start like here, even, or maybe in your space. 1, 2, 1. You can get me pretty close on your turn. That's true. Okay, let me start in your spot then. That's fine. Okay. I don't think the spot's in trouble right now, but we have to, or someone has to get over there next turn for sure.
Yeah, we need to get there at some point, but yeah, right now.
Let's do that.
Okay, excellent. So enemy turns. Rune Golem goes first. He will, for his first turn, he will just do a movement and move there because he isn't fast. Cobalt Warrior again wants to look for players. No players there, so he moves. Frostcaller has range 1, doesn't do anything yet, so he moves. Now we go for this one first because it comes first in clockwise order, meaning the Cobalt Bomber moves as well. Wraith, same thing. Still nothing to attack, so she moves as well. Move her maybe over here. And then the Cobalt Archer moves, because there's nothing within range 2 as well, so he moves. And now we come to the Cobalt Spider Shaman. There's no enemy on his own map tile, so he can't do the attack 2 against players. There's no enemy, no player within range 2, so he can't do that. Range 5 on the gate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It will take 1, 2, 3 turns until he reaches that. So far he doesn't do anything. So he will move. But then he has an enemy turn action thing that he does, and so he will heal a Cobalt for player number, so for 2. With missing health anywhere. No Cobalt has missing health yet. And if he can't heal any kobold, he will instead deal 1 damage to the gate. So
Oh
we'll
boy.
suffer 1 damage on the gate. So we
Oh
go down
boy.
to 7. All right. That's him.
That's done. Okay, we're
Yeah.
next.
He will move onto our map tile. So moving here, joining us.
And the assassin.
He jumps also onto our map tile, does 3 damage to me. I go down to 3, and that's that. And then we have the kobold thief. 1, 2, 3. He also joins us there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, Spearman's just moving, right? Okay. And then it's trap turns. Starting with this one, and this is a level 3 trap, which deals, you can look it up, it's pierce and attack 4.
Yeah.
So it ignores the armor of the rune golem, just goes straight for 4 attack, which brings him down to 5 hit points.
Sweet.
Nice. Okay, I feel like we need, well, here we have a trap with attack 2. The only valid target there is the assassin, because the other 2 are trap immune, so Kobold Thief is trap immune and the cave worm is as well, so that's 2 damage to the assassin, bringing him down to 3 hit points.
Okay.
And then it's our turns. Shall I go first? Or?
Go
All right. I just need to consider one thing I'm not quite sure of, but let's see.
Ooh,
yeah, why not? Why not? Let's do it. So I trigger my Rune of Flame.
Yeah.
And so I go with this is an attack 3 and an attack 4, which is a total of 7 damage against the worm, which brings the worm down to 2.
Nice.
And then I trigger my Quick Slash up here, which does an attack 3 because it's also triggered by the Rune of Flame. Attack 3 kills the Kobold Assassin.
Wow.
And then I go for 2 times attack 1, which is 2 times attack 2, which does 4 damage, so that kills the cave worm, and does 2 damage to the kobold thief.
So why am I here? You did awesome.
Yeah, initially I had something else planned, but then I figured, what the hell? I could also kill the kobold thief with a spot weakness just for the fun of it, but I think like it doesn't make it makes more sense that I save that for later. I think
That was awesome.
Yeah, maybe we should have split up, but that just kind of came to my mind now. So I think it makes sense to do it all in one turn, because otherwise the Rune of Flame just does much less damage. This time it adds 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage, which is pretty good. Okay.
So let me go ahead and how much health does this guy have? Got 3.
He's got 3 hit points. Yeah.
Okay. Let's just take him out.
I mean,
let me do throw flash. So attack him for 1, heal you for 1.
Okay, nice. I'm back to 4 hit
I'll
points.
do engage for 2 attack to do the remaining 2 to take him out.
Yeah, just one suggestion.
Yes.
Well, I don't want to. Well, maybe that would be a bit quarterbacking, but
no, go ahead.
Do you still want to hear it? Okay. Like one suggestion is like you don't attack him at all this turn, but just do your move 2 here.
Yeah.
Because then he will join you next turn anyway. You can kill him then, but then your move 2 is directly available again on the subsequent turn, so you don't need to block your move 2 again.
Yeah, it's a good point. So maybe I'll heal you another 2 then instead.
Yeah, so I have one more here, then I'm up to 5, and then you can just move 2. You need to move 2 to the gate if you want to do what you're.
Shouldn't you be at full health though? Because this is a heal 2 and a heal 1, so it's 3, right?
No, you wouldn't do the attack 1. You would do the move 2 then instead.
Oh, I got you.
To get to the gate, so you wouldn't be healing me again for the 1 because.
Okay, let's do it.
But then you would have the move 2 available on the subsequent one, so that's probably better.
Good call.
Okay. So enemy turns. Rune Golem. He can attack a trap, so he will go with an attack 2 against the trap, which brings our trap down to 2. To 4, yeah, right. Kobold Warrior moves, so he will move over here. Kobold Frostcaller, he will also move because he can't attack anything yet.
Yep. Our friend the Bomber moves.
Yeah.
Which is here. Wraith is also going to move.
Yep. Archer moves as well.
Uh-huh.
And now the kobold, he can't attack yet, so he will move, and then at the end of his turn, he will try to heal a kobold.
Ooh.
And he actually can do that now, because we have the kobold thief up here. He can heal the kobold thief for 2. So the kobold thief goes up to 5 hit points.
Yep. Okay.
And then we go here. Kobold thief activates, moves to your map tile, move 3. And the kobold spearman will just move over here. Kind of, yeah, the other guys kind of moved ahead, and he's a little bit sad down in his own tunnel there.
Where'd everyone go? Okay.
But that's okay. Trap turns.
Which looks like it's this one.
Yeah, so we could either attack the kobold warrior, which would only remove the evasion marker because he would evade the attack 4, or we could do attack the rune golem
Definitely
for 4, bring him down to 1.
Sweet. Okay.
Okay.
That's it. Our turns.
Yep. Actually, I mean, I could just move there and kill him.
Sure.
If we want that. So that would be exhausting march, move 3, and I suffer 1 damage. Brings me down to 4 hit points again, and then I do the bull rush, which is an attack 5. So the kobold thief is kind of a one-shot. Bye-bye.
Nice.
All right. Yeah. Now we just need to plan what we do with the right side of the board, because there's. I mean, the left side there's still one, but he's sad and slow, so we have some time there. The thing is, if you move into this map tile, you will get a lot of attention.
Yeah, I see that, because we got the warrior with. Oh, he'll move there. It's fine. I'll be okay here, I think. I'll just. Right? I'm not getting.
Well, you have to.
Not getting attacked here, though, right?
If you're in this map tile, the warrior's in this map tile, and the frost callers on the adjacent map tile. So that is an attack of 4 on this. Turn.
I didn't see this card over here. Okay, yeah. Okay.
So. Also, like these traps are this. Huh? Yeah.
Okay.
This guy's range, and next turn you will also even be within range of the kobold archer, and then in the subsequent turn the wraiths will also be within range. So there's a lot of incoming damage if you're on that map tile and tank them there.
Yeah. Do I armor up? Repair that? That might be okay. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm worried I might fall fast on this one.
Yeah, I mean you could go there and armor up, or you would. Yeah, the other one would be to just make some defensive move which wouldn't do much. Not sure if that's worth it or not. I don't know.
Yeah, let's see what happens. Okay, we're running there. So first thing I'm gonna do. If you have not used the move the other person and attack, then next turn he could be good. Or run. That's true. Because he's saying that. Oh no, he already took his turn though.
Yeah, I can't move you this turn, so.
Right, but you're right, Jan. If we would have done that differently, we could have used that. That's true. Okay. Anyway.
Yeah.
That's fine. Move. Oh, I can only move 1.
Yeah, or you could heal me and stay on the same map tile. Of course, you wouldn't be doing much else then, but.
I move 1. I'm just here. I can't. It doesn't really make a difference.
Yeah, you cannot. You could just stay on this. Well,
I'll
depends.
Stay here. I'll heal you, and then I think I'll just do swing at the air for now. So.
Okay. Do you want to use your bow for this turn? Just because then you could take out the golem, maybe.
Because I'm not moving. Yeah, let's do that. Let's take him out.
I mean, because then the trap doesn't suffer as much. I don't know if that's critical or does it even make sense. He would attack next. Yeah, it makes sense probably because.
Let's do it. Let's take him out.
Okay. So he's gone.
I have this one as
All right.
well. I don't think it makes a difference. He has evasion. Yeah. Okay. That's it.
Okay, enemy turns. Starting with the Kobold Warrior, he's moving over here.
He's moving 1 space.
Yep. Kobold Frostcaller, moving 1 space as well.
Up here. And then we got the bomber.
Okay. These both move 1 space.
And
Archer moves 1 space. And he, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He still moves 1 space. Next turn, he's going to start attacking the gate. And then he tries to heal a kobold, but I think right now we don't have any injured kobolds anymore. So he's going to be attacking the gate for 1. So we go down to 6.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
And then we go to the other side, and we have the Kobold Spearman, who will move 1 space up.
Okay.
All right, trap time. Now this is going to be fun.
Oh, yeah,
starting here.
This one's first.
Yep.
This one's a
3
level 2. So as a reminder, level 2 that attacks 3 times for 1.
Yep, against the Kobold Warrior.
Oh, that's perfect. So the first one kills his evasion, and he takes 2 more damage.
Yep, correct.
And then we have the Frost Collar over here.
Mm-hmm.
Who's just gonna die.
Yep, because he has armor, but we have the perfect trap for him there.
That's 4 damage pierce. So that's, yeah, he's dead.
Yep.
Sweet.
It's the only trap that can one-shot him, so that's perfect. Which is also good so that you couldn't move in here, because this way the Frostcaller just got shot by the trap. Otherwise, he would have just stood there and shot at you from range.
Oh, good call. Good call. Yeah. And then we have this trap does nothing. This trap does nothing. Okay, cool. Our turns.
I mean, I can't do... Does it help you if I move you 1? Yeah, probably does.
Move 1 and attack, or is it attack and move 1?
Yeah, I'm just gonna let me go first. I'm just gonna move you and attack, I think, because this turn I can't do many sensible things anyway. So I'm just gonna be moving you and have you attack here for 3.
Sweet.
So that you take out the Kobold Warrior.
Yes. Okay.
And then on the bottom row, I'm just gonna go for engage and do nothing with it for now.
Okay. So I've got some options here. Our Wraith hits so hard. Okay, thank you. So now, I'm tempted to run in here, but the problem is this guy explodes.
Only if you kill him.
Only if I kill him, right? And this guy does a lot of damage, so I'm worried about... And this guy's got range, and this guy got range. So that's like a death zone right there.
I mean, remember that the Wraith is undead, right? So...
Ooh, that's true.
The question is, how much damage is he actually going to do?
That's true. So maybe
you might even be able to tank everything, even if the Wraith was there. But
Let's try it. Let's try it. Let's do it. Let's run 2. I like that. 1, 2. Let's use the ultimate heal 4, which is actually damage 4.
Yeah, just give him some healing balm. He likes that.
That's right. So he goes from 8 down to 4.
Yeah.
Okay, and I still have another action. I've got a throwing action as well. Oh, attack 4? That seems awesome. Yes, I like that a lot. Let's do that. Let's take him out. Attack 4 on the Wraith.
Okay. She's down.
I do have this range thing for 3. I think I want to do it. I know that they'll heal, but I kind of like that rather than dealing damage to our base.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go and throw the axe for 3 damage at range 2. Oh, I can hit the boss. I don't think it makes a difference, though. Let's attack this archer.
Okay.
So 1, 2, 3.
Down to 2. Yeah.
Or, hold on. 1, 2, 3. If I attack this bomber, he'll die from this trap. Yes, let's do that instead.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. That's it for me.
Okay. Enemy turns. So, nothing happening here. Bomber is just moving.
Uh-huh.
Archer, you're within range, so that's an attack 2.
Ow. Down to 3. Okay.
Spider Shaman, you are not on his map tile, so no attack 2, but you're within range 2, so that's an attack 1 against you.
Down to 2.
And then he can heal a kobold, so he heals the kobold bomber for 2, but doesn't do an additional attack against the gate instead. So that's good. And now we go back over here. Kobold Spearman, he will just move there.
Yep.
All right. Trap turns.
So that should kill him because it's 4 damage and he's got 4 health.
Yeah, he explodes for attack 3, so
it's down to 1 life. Good grief.
1. And then on this side, 2 times attack 1 against the Kobold Spearman. So he has evasion, so the first one goes to the evasion, and the second one deals 1 damage, so he's down to 4 hit points.
Okay, that's all the traps. Now we have our turns.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy, on his turn, he's going to do 2 damage here and 1 damage to this trap. And he's just going to sit there until he kills both of them. Or no, until he kills this one, then he'll move over here and finish it off.
Yeah, the question is, can I leave you alone on the right side, or do you need support there for now? Because,
Oh, I don't know. What do you think about this? So he's going to do 2 and 1. This is going to do another 1 damage to him.
I mean, I could kill him on this turn, but then I would be positioned here, so it would take me some time to get over to your side.
I'm tempted just to let the spearman just deal with his traps while we take care of stuff over here. I don't know.
We can do that as well. The thing is, I would need just 1 turn right now to move here, so I wouldn't be doing anything on this turn, and then on the next turn I can move here, which only helps us if the archer is still alive. Otherwise, I'm still not within range of the spider shaman, so it would take me a few turns to do something there. In the meantime, he would be burning through our traps on that side. So
that's a good point.
If you feel comfortable that you can handle this side, and even if you don't need to take out everything, but if you can survive there, I could take him down and then come to your side, but then we would have, because I feel like taking down this side will take a little bit longer, and also the distance is quite long to get back afterwards.
Yeah, so the question is, can I get over here and start tanking or something? Because I do have a move 1. I could be in here. John says, if Steve rushes the boss, does the archer keep moving toward the gate?
No, because you are still within range 2 of the archer, so he will still shoot you.
Right.
If you were outside of the range of the archer, then he would continue towards the gate, but you would still be within range 2, so he would still attack you.
Yeah, as much as I want to rush the boss, I think I have to deal with the archer first. And this guy only does 1 damage, the boss man. I think that I can manage there, especially if I get my armor up. To get my armor up, I need to do my reinforce, which means I think that seems okay. Let's do that. Let's do advance, move 1. I'm going to try to tank this a little bit as a healer. Move 1. And then let's do reinforced, attack 2, and get armor. So 2 on the archer.
Yeah.
I have the roots. I can take him out right now. I think that might be worth it. Let's do it. Let's do the last ultimate. This is a 3 attack. Anywhere.
Okay.
Let's take him out.
All right. So he's... Oh, wait. Yeah. Okay.
Did I screw something up?
Just one consider... Nah, I have a better idea.
Go ahead.
So you can do what you've done, but use the attack 3 if you want. You could use the attack 3 on the spearman instead.
Okay, but why?
Why? Because he would be attack 3 would bring him down to 1. And he will attack the trap once, and the next time the trap attacks him, it will kill him.
I like that. Good idea. Let's do that.
So I don't have to move to that side, and I can just come to your aid right now. And you would survive this 1 turn against all the attackers, so I would, and then we can deal with that side.
Am I going to
So-
die though? Because this is 2 attacks, so I'll take 1. Oh no, I'm going to take 1 damage. Yeah, it's okay.
So, and
Yeah,
on
yeah.
next turn you can heal yourself again. So I'll go with the exhausting march, bring me down to 4 hit points. 1, 2, 3. So I'm here,
Good call, Jan.
and then I will do the cleave and just attack the air for now. That's it.
Okay.
Okay, enemy turns. Also, theoretically, we could decide that he attacks me now because now I'm within range, and then we can choose who gets attacked. But
True.
yeah, I don't have armor, so I'm still for you taking.
I can
damage.
take it. It's fine. It's fine.
All right. Okay, Cobalt Archer. So ladies first. You get the arrow.
Take the arrow to the knee.
Right. Gets reduced to 1 through the armor, which is good. Then the Cobalt Spider Shaman. He tries to attack you for 1, which doesn't do anything against your armor.
Mm-hmm.
And then he wants to heal a Cobalt. We need to heal up the Archer because otherwise the trap won't kill the Spearman. So he goes up to 5.
Yep.
Let's see what happens over here. He attacks the trap for 2.
Uh-huh.
So because he has target any, so this one goes down to 1. And if he has a valid target, he will attack in the adjacent map tile as well. So he does another attack 1 here. So this one goes down to 2 as well. And he regains the evasion.
Yep.
Right, but now, revenge of the traps. Or the 1 trap. The other traps are just standing around there. And so, 2 times attack 1 against the Cobalt Spearman from our level 1 trap.
First
So
trap
the first
kills
one-
the evasion.
And second one kills him.
Yes.
All right, Spearman's gone.
1 lane done.
Excellent. So, our turn again.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see.
You get
I
some
mean,
major damage potential.
I can just do the move 1 and armor 1, so I get 1 armor.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I still got my 1 ultimate ready, so I'll just do an attack 3 and then attack 2, so he's down.
Sweet. Okay. What do I need to do? I think I need to
I can take the
heal.
damage because I can't. If you move on his map tile, I can't take the damage because he will focus you primarily on map tile.
I'm tempted to just not do anything and heal up, and then next turn we can run in there. Let's do that.
Sounds good.
So I'm gonna heal 3 on myself, up to 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jan's like, heal! Yes!
Yep. So it's his turn. The Cobalt Spider Shaman tries to attack. He will attack me for 1, but I've got armor, so I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
He can't heal the Cobalt though, so he will do 1 damage to the gate, bring it down to 5.
It's okay. It's okay.
And that's it on his turn. So now, finally, time for revenge.
You want to do Uber attack?
Yeah, well, I'll go in with the Exhausting March, bring me down to 3 hit points, and then I'll do an attack of 5 on this map tile, which brings him down to 5 hit points.
Yep.
So, yeah.
You're technically here then, right? Yep.
He will still survive though, because you can bring him down to 1 hit point. Nice.
So if I move 1 is all I really need.
Yeah.
And then I can do attack 4, yeah.
Yeah.
Unless I do attack... That doesn't matter. Let's do attack 4. Fine. Bring it down to 1.
Yeah, it's not... Okay. His turn, he'll do an attack 2 against one of us. I can
I'll
take it.
it.
I still got 1 hit point left.
Are you sure?
Okay. Yeah. You've been tanking the whole time, so I can take some damage for 1.
Okay.
And then he heals himself for 2, so he's back to 3 hit points. And now, like, do you want to do the honors, or shall
Nope, you do it. Finish him off.
I do it. Okay. I'll inspire you to do it, actually, and tell you to attack him with 3.
Attack 3. Sweet.
So you can take him down.
Boom. And then we can technically heal, right? Right before the end of it.
Yeah, we can do the heal, but this is the 3rd combat phase that we've gone through.
Yep.
So the last cycle. So in the end, this will bring us towards the end of the chapter in a minute. So
Okay.
yeah, so we're done with combat. So now we move to the rewards phase officially, but essentially what happens is just we look at the story marker, have story marker number 3, And that one should tell us to read the epilogue if everything works well. Yep. Read the epilogue. So we turn towards the epilogue, which is at the end of chapter 2. There we are. Yeah, do you want to read or shall I?
I'll read it.
Okay.
With a final swift blow, you decapitate the kobold shaman, and its lifeless body sinks to the ground. Tora raises her sword and hails you. A strike worthy of a skeld song. Harkon! And a great victory as well. You are truly a great hero, without our raid having even begun. Dara appears in the cave entrance. Thank you, brave warriors. You have saved my livelihood and retrieved my cart. I will be forever grateful. Before she can thank you with another hug, you turn to investigate the rest of the cave for more loot, but stop short when you see a stone covered in runes in the corner. As you move closer, the runes start to glow in an eerie dark red that pulsates. You suddenly feel your heart beating stronger, louder and louder, so much that you can hear its beat in your own ears. It seems to be perfectly in sync with the pulsating. More of it. Of the runes, louder and louder it gets, and at the same time, your vision starts to blur. The last thing you feel is that you are falling to the ground, that everything turns black. When you regain your vision, you are alone in a sea of darkness. The only light comes from a hooded figure in a red cloak standing beside a runic circle. In its hand, it is carrying a cruel-looking barbed dagger, from which blood is dripping onto a giant animal skull in the middle of the circle. You try to move. The figure turns its head and focuses on you, then speaks out in a menacing, hissing voice. It won't be long until the blood of Tark is spilled, and the wolf will be awakened once more, and you, Harkon, son of Orwyn, will be prey for the great beast, as will all of your kind. With these last words, the figure raises his dagger, slowly moving toward you. Blood for the blood wolf, he snarls as he lunges forward. Before you can react, the world seems to spin and you open your eyes, still lying on the floor of the cave where you defeated the kobold shaman. Everything you witnessed in the darkness has disappeared, and as you push yourself up, you turn around and see Tara, giving you a slightly worried look. Are you okay, Harkon? Most warriors fall during battle, not after. The words of the hooded figure still linger in the back of your head, but you decide now is not the time to dwell on cryptic prophecies. You pick up your axe, give Tora a nod, and then turn to Dara. Time to head home, then. Upon your return, Dara opens a store in Midhalla and will accompany you on your journeys with her cart. She will be offering items for sale in future chapters. And that is it.
Yep.
Okay.
Chapter 2 completed.
Cool. Well, that was a lot of fun. I really like this one. So, do you want to describe a little bit more about maybe things that people haven't seen this playthrough so they get an idea of the full game?
Yeah, I mean, you've seen most of the rules towards the end. There's some like smaller things, like in terms of unlocks. So at the end of each chapter, you can see also here there are some unlocks that you do on the party sheet. Just things that you see, like the classes, for example, that we've played at some point, not yet, quite yet, but later during the campaign, you will also unlock advanced classes. And so these ones are also more complex. So for example, for Eike, you can short glance, you see there's an additional class that she gets. She gets new things that you can do and a more complex board as well. I'm not going to be going into the detail because I don't want to spoil too much, but you see the heroes itself get more complex that you can play. They're not necessarily stronger, but they have like different, slightly different touch and different feel how to play. They're more challenging to play, and if you play them well, they can maybe be slightly stronger than their base version. But if you play them badly, they are obviously worse than their base version because the base version is easier to play. So it's also adds a little bit more challenge to the game to play them. Kind of like if you've played games like Spirit Island or something where you have like low complexity spirits and high complexity spirits, something like that. Then you will be unlocking new items, which will be available for sale, for example, or also unique items, which we would unlock right now. So, or not right now, which we would have unlocked actually in the first chapter. I forgot to set that up. Unique items stay actually with you across different scenarios. So you reset everything about your hero, but unique items are items that you keep that you can use in future chapters as well. There's lore that you can unlock where you, lore is actually also like just lore about the background of the world that you can unlock and read. You don't necessarily have to read that if you say, I don't want to have too much about lore and the details of the world. But if you're interested, you get to know more about like okay, what is Midhalla? What is the world of Midhalla? Which gods exist? I've created this whole pantheon of their own gods, their own demons, and how everything came to pass there, and what the relationships is, and so on. And like Isil, the fallen goddess, how she became the mother of demons, and all that stuff is part of that is hidden in the lore that you can unlock as part of the game. I've already talked about the evolving event decks that we have. There's decisions that you make sometimes during scenarios which will be lasting and may affect future chapters that you would play. And then you unlock traps, new kind of trap upgrades will happen, some other things, trap components, and then chapters. Like you have the storyline that you follow, which is kind of the core chapters, and then there will be free chapters, which are like optional chapters that you don't have to play, but that you can play, which have their own like more kind of closed narrative or have like a side story that you can follow, depending on how you want to spend your time. And like one thing that's special about the campaign as a whole is that because you advance the party sheet and you as a party unlock new things mainly, but you don't level up or you don't change the characters between scenarios, but level up during each scenario, that this campaign is drop in, drop out. So if you play with friends and like, let's say you play as a group of 3 and one person has to leave after 3 chapters and doesn't have time to play anymore, you can just continue with 2 people. And if then someone joins along on chapter 7 and stays for the rest of the campaign, they can still join and they can always play on an eye level with you and on the same skill level. So not like in like most other campaign games where they are then starting out as your sidekick because they're completely underleveled and can watch you kick ass while you are just where they can't do much and still need to level up their character.
Right.
So that's kind of created with that in mind, and also because balancing is super important in this kind of game, because it's like it doesn't have any dice that hide like bad balancing. All the bad balancing becomes visible once you fight, because then you hopefully still have a challenge, but still can always complete the scenario. And that's kind of how the game is balanced as well. And then there's one more thing that I want to just give a quick outlook at this, which is this up here, which is like the scale of the fate, so to speak, between the Isil, which is the fallen goddess and mother of all demons, and Arthur, which is the goddess of life, and Arthur. And so if you win scenarios, you will put your marker, will move towards Isil 1 step. And as you move closer towards the side of Isil, or when you're in the side of Isil, for each point you're there, you will be cursed at the beginning of a chapter, which means there will be curse tokens on your map, on the map tiles, which buff enemies on there, and also will have negative effects when you want to or make it more expensive to fortify those. And if you lose a chapter, you will move 2 towards the scale of Arthur, which means you will get a blessing of Arthur if you're on that side of the scale, which means you gain additional resources at the beginning of the game. So the game is, or the campaign is self-balancing to keep the game always challenging, but not on a level that it's undoable.
Cool. Yeah, so I think that there's some questions here. I think that one of the questions was already asked by Jan. He said, will the game structure be a set of big scenarios like the whole demo here? We're setting to level 1 at the start, which is true. You start at level 1. But yeah, it's all scenario based on the campaign, right? There's no one-off scenarios necessarily.
Like the free scenarios are kind of things that you could play just kind of out of the campaign if you wanted to. But the entire thing is set up to be played as a campaign-based game.
Yep.
But because you only unlock things theoretically, like if you really wanted to, you could just kind of put together like the setup for the specific scenario and just play that if you wanted to. But that's not how it's intended to be played. Let's put it that way. But if you wanted to, you could do that.
Definitely. Another question here says, there's a table of traps. Do traps carry over?
No, the traps is kind of the traps that you have the unlocks for the traps. So currently we have like these 3 traps, for example, and we will unlock more traps as we go throughout the campaign. So we will have more options to build. So these like kind of unlocking these carries over. Like, so we've unlocked these 3, and these ones will be available in all future chapters.
So it's more
but
like...
you can also see here, there's more traps which you can build, and also like traps with different functionality and different tactical aspects that you can unlock later on. And once you've unlocked those, they will be available to build.
Yep. So more traps, more tools, but they don't stay out. Basically, that's what comes down to it.
Yeah.
There's a question about, or is it for a quick save between? Oh, we asked that question already. How many chapters are in the game?
It's not fully decided yet, but the core campaign will be around about 10 chapters, and then there will be a handful of free chapters as well accompanying it. So probably around about 15. But if you want to complete the core game, it will be around about 10 chapters probably.
Cool.
Like the core campaign, and then the other ones are optionals if you want to do more.
Cool. Awesome.
Like,
This...
yeah. Maybe one other thing like with that we can just quickly mention, like you've seen the two main characters, well, 2 of the 4 characters that are in the game, Haken the Dranger, which is kind of the tank damage dealer, and Enik is more like a more agile healer. We also have Tora, who's a commander. She has in her base tableau, she already has abilities that can move others around and have them attack. So similar to the Inspire that I leveled up at some point. And Arn the Scout, who is more like a quick, like a rogue assassin kind of guy. He's got like fast movement and damage and has peers in his base tableau, so you can work around armored enemies, for example. So like these are the kind of 4 base heroes that you have. There will also be like an additional small add-on available, which offers another two characters to play. So there's more variety out there, and also the game's thought out that if you want to, you can also switch characters between games. So if you want to say, well, I've played Enik, but I also want to try out Tora or Arn or something, that's also how it's intended. You can stick with one character if you want to, but it's also totally feasible to play like different characters between scenarios and switch them.
Very cool. Awesome. Well, this was a lot of fun. I really appreciate you suggesting this playthrough, and I hope people watch this picked up on it. So I guess the question is, if they have further questions on this, where can they get answers? Where can they find you?
Well, I'm also on your Discord server, so that's obviously one option. The game is on Board Game Geek, so there's a forum there to ask questions. There's a Midhalla Discord server, which I don't know if we can share the link to that as well.
I can link for that. Yep.
So that's an option. So on the Midhalla Discord server, there's also frequently the chance to do playtests if you're interested in that. But also any other questions, just let me know there. Or there's a Facebook group, and I'm also on Facebook. So those are the main channels. There's also Instagram, but yeah, like probably Facebook, Discord, or Board Game Geek are the best sources to just get in contact. And if you want to know anything about the game, just let me know at any time. I'm always happy to help.
Yep, and I do watch all the comments on YouTube. So if there's something that comes up, you need help with something, feel free to drop there. I can reach out to Eike here for any help. Like, hey, let you know there's a comment coming up or something, and we can tackle that. So, but yeah, this was great. I appreciate you taking the time on running through and teaching this game.
Yeah, thanks for playing. Also, had a lot of fun. It was very much fun exploding the bomber everywhere and using us. But yeah,
some close calls are getting down to 1 life for both of us, so it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, maybe next time we don't burn us to the ground all the time. But yep.
Awesome. Okay, well, we'll end the stream, and thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you at the next stop.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.